Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Yeah, what happened to the woman who stole the calendar on New Year's Eve?
I don't know what.
She got 12 months.
Ugh.
Yuck.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
It was like a pink nightmare.
Christmas as in Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log.
It's Mother's Day.
All that I have, all that I've done, everything I feel, all this and more, I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the Lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am your father.
Hello, all, and Happy New Year! It's Happy New Year. By the time you listen to this, it'll be in the New Year, so just take it and say thank you.
Happy birthday!
Happy birth year! Whatever, us, whatever. As we launch our 5th year of everyone's favorite podcast, excluding parts of Texas and Delaware, 3 Geeky Dads. I am Mark, and with me, as always, are the Chico and Harpo to my Groucho.
Derek?
Brian.
You don't know who they are!
I was wondering,
you?
so does that make Tito the Zeppo?
No, he's too cool to be Zeppo. And
What does
joining
Zeppo
us,
do?
as always,
You're-
God damn it. Yeah, you couldn't
You're
let
Charlie
it go,
Chaplin.
could you? Zeppo, Tito, was the 4th Marx Brothers, who would appear in some of the movies, but he was mostly the straight man, so he wasn't as funny.
That's
or as
me.
popular.
So that's totally...
No, that's not you at all, which
I
is
keep you
why
guys grounded.
I didn't want to call you Zeppo.
That's it.
And if you haven't figured out by now, joining us, as always, to add a few laughs and poke fun at my otherwise writing brilliance, like now, the 4 calling birds to our 3 French hens, Tito.
I like that better.
Yeah, if you had let me
Yeah,
get to it right away, it would have had a better ring to it.
but
Wouldn't
that's not
have.
nearly as fun.
You-
It wouldn't be the show if it would.
Yeah, right.
4 packs of smokes, 3 turtlenecks, 2.
and a position at the DMV.
Oh, this
See
guy.
that?
You're
You like
fucking
that?
freestyle
Get the
genius.
toilet
I
paper.
am. I'm very smart. You are very fortunate to have been with me a whole year on this.
I agree.
That's you should. Speaking of Tito, as we have been doing, this show actually marks the anniversary of when our favorite Johnny Legs loving bastard made the jump from frequent guest of the show to the unofficial 4th dad that won our hearts, but not enough to change the title of our show. For 1 year, he has sat through many a corny joke, lousy drink till it's good movies, and endless alligator talk from yours truly. So tonight, in honor of Tito's 1-year anniversary, we are devoting January to a month of Tito. We could call it Tito-January or something. Tito, Gito, I don't know. Dynamite. There it is. TNT. All this month, we bring you a choice pick movie from the man himself. In other words, if you have any complaints this month, they go directly to him. But before I turn command over to the man who could charm the pants off a woman who is already nude, somehow, I first turn things over to our own Wizard of Waffles and Sorcerer of Spaghetti, Brian Robin Noodles Ramsey, who has, as always, prepared a delicious appetizer for us to start off with.
Wait, hold on. Because you were the first out of everybody here to reach in to get the chicken, you say grace.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank you.
He had an orgasm over his own profession.
So good.
I'm so good at what I do.
A little special sauce for Mike.
It was a good Christmas.
It was
All
very
right.
good. So as Mark just mentioned, this month of January marks Tito's 1-year anniversary since joining us full-time as researcher, contributor, and co-host. To honor that fact, we're handing the show over to Tito for the entire month as he gets to pick what he wants us to talk about. First up, Tito picked Barry Gordy's The Last Dragon, an urban martial arts B movie that's probably the most 80s of 80s movies we've seen in a long, long time. This movie stars Timac?
Yeah, Timac.
Vic Tabak, Tiamat,
Dinosaur Hunter, right?
as
Timac the Dinosaur Hunter.
Turok, son of Stone, as our reluctant hero. He's an actor that's been working steadily since his debut in this film, but he hasn't really found any real fame outside of this debut role. And that got us thinking, what other actors can we think of that have been struggling with fame outside of one significant role, or who has been circling the drain of obscurity ever since their breakout role thrust them into the public spotlight?
Beautiful.
Well done.
Nice.
Derek, since you were absent last
I
week
was.
from class, because you were
I'm all better now.
all better. Why don't you start us off, sir?
All right. We doing 3 each, or
I
we
just had
doing one?
I only had a
One.
one, but
Okay,
I picked,
all right, nope.
picked some runners up
Okay.
in case mine was chosen.
Same.
All right. I'm going
those
with
ones
Peter
are-
Billingsley. He's had a few small roles throughout the years, but he's been locked into the Ralphie role for his entire life from A Christmas Story. And it's a shame because in the new one, I watched it and I'm like, he's a really good actor and he should be in more. I have seen him and he was in Iron Man. He's
not Tony Stark.
He's in a lot of
well, I'm sorry. I'm not Tony Stark.
He's good friends with John Favreau in real life, and so John Favreau tends to put him in everything that he does.
Well, he's a producer in his own right. He actually produced the first Iron Man along with Favreau. So
and that's great for him. But I just
he showed up in
wanna see him
Spider-Man: Far From Home as the same character.
That's right. Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he
I remember
returned.
that guy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
but he's really good, and I don't think he gets enough credit.
Stark called my system barf.
Good pick.
Yeah,
Good pick. Good choice.
What about you?
How about you,
All right.
Brian?
Change.
All right,
It's a
so-
good change.
It's your pick, Brian.
I'm going with Tom Arnold from True Lies.
Tom
Arnold.
Arnold.
Yeah, you wanna see more of Tom
from
Arnold?
True Lies. No, I'm not actually. I never liked Tom Arnold, but I did like him in True Lies. I liked him a lot in True Lies, and unfortunately, after that, he kind of faded again into obscurity.
Roseanne Barr ruined him.
I think she ruined him first, and I think he redeemed himself with True Lies.
I thought for a second that you said she wrote him first.
No.
Yeah, she did.
That's why he can't walk.
Oh.
So yeah, I thought that Arnold and Arnold together were spectacular.
I see what you did.
See
That
that?
should have been a sitcom.
He's really funny in that
Arnold
movie.
He really was. He had
Arnold.
some of the best lines in True Lies.
Yeah.
That's my pick.
Nice. Tito?
I got 3 here. I'm going Carrie Henn, Newt from Aliens.
Good pick. I almost
Only
went
thing
with her.
she ever did.
Yeah.
She might have been in the next one, but they fucked that all up.
Yep. They sure did.
No,
Thanks
she
for
wasn't
nothing.
in
Killed her off
Fincher.
screen. Her and
killed
Michael
her
Biehn.
Way to go, Fincher.
Yep.
But I think that the plan was to have them all be in the next one. I like David Fincher. I was just fucking around. And she's very good in movies where, especially now that I'm older, kids, I can take them or leave them sometimes. Not mine, though. I love those.
nice save, Tito. Nice save.
I love those things.
I love those kids. But she's very good as Newt and super, super adorable. And you worry about her in the movie, which is what you want from that character. You're worried about her. I thought she did a really, really good job.
She really did.
And then she became like a teacher or something.
They mostly come out at night.
Mostly.
A filthy animal.
What does she say, Ripley? She's thinking nothing because she's a doll and her head's
Yeah,
plastic.
right.
I
Yeah.
love
Right.
that.
That's what you get when you live under a fucking ground. Air quotes if you can't see me. Because she doesn't. She lives in a space station.
She sure does.
What do you
But
got?
you can see a little more of her in the director's cut of Aliens.
Oh, yeah,
There's more
yeah,
of her
yeah.
and her family.
There's some cooler stuff in there too, where they
Yeah.
make the barricade and the fucking the guns that.
Oh, the turrets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sense movement.
Yeah, there's a little more on the colony,
Yeah.
which is kind of cool. I always like that. I think we did this before for something. I don't know if it was on Monster Cereal or not, but I always go with this guy. It's Bela Lugosi, and he is the ultimate one-hit wonder. He's starred in thousands of films, but is really only remembered for one. And it's a shame because I'm a huge fan.
Plan 9 from Outer Space.
There it is.
There you
That's
go.
right.
I mean, essentially, yeah, he's Dracula in that movie. He was Dracula in a lot of movies, but he
Yeah.
tried, and
so
he's
much
always fun to watch.
in Son of Frankenstein. He was a great Igor
He had
in Son of
Igor,
Frankenstein.
Murders in the Rue
Black
Morgue,
Cat.
Black Cat. He had other performances, but
Poking
nothing.
holes in Mark's.
No. You're right, but nothing ever came close. to-
That's all I know him for.
Exactly.
Is Dracula.
Dracula,
Exactly.
yeah.
If you weren't a fan of Universal, you wouldn't know
Yeah.
half of those performances. So I got to go with him.
Good.
That's mine. If I had
All
a
right.
runner-up, Alex Winter from Bill and Ted's Excellent
I almost
Adventure.
thought about
Oh,
him.
yeah,
I
nice.
almost.
Yeah.
went
I know he had
Alice into it.
Lost Boys, but it
That was
didn't
more
really
than a
do,
glorified cameo. He was-
Yeah, pretty much. I always
Yeah.
thought he deserved a little more. I always liked him. So
Yeah, same here. He's a
any
very
other
likable guy.
runner-ups?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
Good.
got?
You want to go?
And my backups were Mia Kirshner, who was in the
that's
second
right.
Crow City of Angels.
Yeah. Yep.
She was in a couple other movies. She was in Not Another Teenage Movie.
She's great in that movie.
Oh, yeah.
She played the Black Dahlia in the Black Dahlia.
Yeah.
So she was in it for sure.
She was on the L Word, too, for a little while, I think
so,
also.
yeah. I dig her. She's
great.
gorgeous.
Yep.
She's
Beautiful.
I know the name, but I can't
stunning,
picture her.
stunning, attractive woman. And Tom Welling, who didn't really do it. He had such a huge thing with Smallville and then didn't do anything afterwards. And, funny enough, when I first started writing the novels that I was writing, the Azrael Jr. character, I always fan casted him as him.
Oh, no kidding.
I thought that he would make the perfect one, and he showed up in the crossover, the CW crossover.
Oh yeah, Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah. Which was nice to see him, but he doesn't do anything else.
No.
Which is sad.
And he's collecting checks off that show.
Yes, hey.
Yeah.
So why?
Was he like the dozen, the movie where Dennis Quaid is the dad or whatever? He's like the oldest brother. Oh no, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Yes, Cheaper by the Dozen.
Oh, that's right.
He does. He
plays.
Yeah.
Steve Martin.
Yeah.
That's I think the only other thing I've ever seen him in.
The Dennis Quaid one is
The
Parent Trap.
Frequency.
It's you.
Oh.
You, yours, and ours.
Okay, is the two
yours, mine, and ours.
Yours, mine, and ours.
It's like a Brady Bunch style.
Yeah, that's a remake of a Henry Fonda, Lucille Ball movie from the
with
60s.
Renee Russo, right?
With Renee Russo, I think is the mom.
I don't know if that.
Is that your Renee Russo? That's spot on.
That's perfect. That's the best Renee Russo I've ever heard. He was also in the remake of The Fog. I wouldn't recommend watching it, but
with Leslie Bibb, right?
Not
Leslie Bibb.
I don't know.
The one that looks like Leslie
Selma
Bibb.
Blair was in that
Selma
one.
Blair
That's all
was
I
in
know.
that Fog remake,
I caught a clip of it and I was like, nah.
Liam Neeson's daughter in Taken was in that one, right?
Maybe.
She looks like Leslie Bibb. But
she runs funny.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
She does. She does run funny.
I remember that
video. Liam Neeson's daughter runs like a spaz in every scene.
Awesome.
I did. I had Linda Blair from The Exorcist.
Oh,
yeah.
She wasn't in anything else?
Yeah.
She was. She did Exorcist 2, but it flopped.
Yeah.
Repossessed.
And Repossessed.
And then
with Leslie Nielsen.
Yeah,
right?
she did like a lot of B movies and direct-to-video movies.
Yeah. Hell Night was one of them.
She did like a prison movie that she was actually pretty sexy in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The female
what the
prison.
hell? Yeah.
Caged
Blair was
Heat
a
or something
babe.
like that.
Yep. I know which one you're talking
She did
about.
that other movie where she's like.
Caught that one on Skinamax one night when I was like
After the
17
Red Shoe
years old.
Diaries.
Yeah.
What's that?
Before
Class
the
of-
Red Shoe Diaries, Derek.
What's that movie? Class of 1984. She did like a
that's right.
similar
That's right.
version.
Yeah. Yes.
Where her sister is deaf and
Yeah.
gets attacked, and then she goes
Yeah.
on like a murder spree or whatever.
Was her sister Marley Matlin?
No, no.
Would have been awesome if it
Speaking
was.
of one hit
Sure
wonder,
would
that's
have been
another
cool
one hit
if it
wonder.
That's true, yeah.
Marley Matlin.
She did have a cameo in Scream. If anybody remember her?
Oh, yeah, that's
She
right.
Oh, she's the
One
reporter.
of the news reporter
Oh,
hounding
okay.
Sidney Campbell and says, "People have a right to know." So,
Great Linda Blair.
thank you.
Yeah, that was a good Linda Blair.
That's right.
Yeah.
Spot on.
That was
You got to be good at something.
spot on Leslie Nielsen. So, like Tito, I also had another runner-up, but this was like an actor with only one movie credit too, and mine was Peter Ostrom from the original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
That's the kid, right?
The kid.
None of
He
those
was-
kids did anything after, right?
I don't know about the other ones, but this kid,
That
the
movie
kid that played Charlie,
traumatized him. Traumatized him.
yeah, the kid that played Charlie, he only did this one movie, and then now he's a veterinarian.
No.
Yeah.
Animals
imagine.
need saving.
Yeah, they
hey,
do.
Fix those animals.
Yeah.
He left
who to
Hollywood.
them dogs?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's what they do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Who does the neutering? It's
Those
them, right?
dogs.
Yeah. The vets.
Do to them dogs. Bob Barker would be very proud.
Yeah. Spay and neuter your pets, kids.
I just thought the gardener did.
a Lannister always spays his pets.
That's good. I got two. Jennifer Grey from Dirty Dancing.
Okay,
I'm a big fan
Another
of that
one on the
movie.
L Word.
yeah.
Was she on the
She was on the
L
L Word.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
And then she got the nose job, and I think she had a show where she played herself. She was on somebody else's show where she played their next door neighbor.
think
You
You're
know
right.
what? I think that I'm thinking the wrong girl.
Jennifer Grey from.
I think it was the other one from Footloose. I mean, Flashdance.
Oh yes,
She was
Jennifer
Jennifer
Beals?
Beal. Jennifer Beal was in the
She
L
was
Word.
on L Word.
Yeah,
Okay.
Jennifer-
Okay.
That's a good one too.
Yeah.
Flashdance was kind of her.
But Jennifer Grey married Coulson. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
Good for
was
her.
married to Coulson, and she was in that car accident with Matthew Broderick.
She
where they
Yeah,
killed
she
that guy.
was.
She
Yeah.
was.
She was there.
She was the
never
passenger.
same.
She was in the unwitting accomplice.
She was the
57.
passenger.
Always been on black.
And she rides and she rides.
Wesley Snipes taught me that.
And Jennifer Beals showed up in the Book of Boba Fett. Remember, she played the Twi'lek
right.
casino owner.
What are those,
her?
what are those aliens called?
Twi'leks.
Twi'leks.
Yeah.
I never knew that.
Twi'leks.
Created by Nancy
Twi'leks.
Myers.
Sounds like a space candy bar.
It is. She's like the right or the left Twi'lek.
Take a
Soft
bite
on the
out of
outside and a
Twi'leks.
nice crunchy center.
My other one was Adam Schofling. I never knew how to pronounce his name. He's Jake from 16 Candles.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
He was in Vision Quest as the...
Oh, he's one of the hockey
Matthew
players?
Modine's the wrestling movie.
Oh, the wrestling movie.
Yeah, he
What
plays
was,
Cooch.
what was the hockey movie that he did? It was not
Cutting Edge.
Cutting Edge. No.
No, that's
That's
No.
the
DB
skating
Sweeney.
movie.
Yeah, no.
D.B. Sweeney.
Yeah, no, the hockey movie.
Miracle?
It was. It had Rob Lowe was in it, and I thought Matthew Modine. Anyway, never mind.
I have no idea.
Oh man, we're gonna have to talk about this.
Yeah,
later.
yeah, it came from around the same time.
A goalie too far.
But those
Miracle
are
on
mine.
Ice.
Those are mine.
Nice.
Bombs.
Margaret Hamilton, she count? Wicked Witch of the West.
Oh.
She never really did anything
yeah.
before or after, huh?
Well, she showed up on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
She sure
Yeah.
did. And Sesame Street.
I heard
That's
she banged
right.
Bella Lugosi.
She did.
Did she
Probably.
really?
Everybody
I don't
did.
know.
For her.
Who
Did she
knows?
do all those like coffee
I
commercials?
got a lot of
Did
pussy.
she do coffee commercials in the 70s?
Maybe.
Was that Margaret Hamilton?
Maybe.
Isn't she the lady from A League of Their Own that watches all the girls? That's her, right? I loved you in The Wizard of Oz. Yeah, she always reminded me of her. She looks like her. I was like,
maybe
that is-
not.
I thought that was her.
She's Margaret
No, she never did
Hamilton.
anything.
Good enough to be Mr. Rogers.
Well, she got
Margaret
crushed by a
Hamilton.
house, didn't she? Or no, she
Huh?
melted
No,
away.
that was her sister.
Yeah, she
She
got
got
melted.
burned in a fire going down the elevator.
They poured water on her. We never
Yeah.
saw her.
They tortured her, lethal weapon style.
She bumped her head and never woke up.
Aww.
She went to sleep forever.
Forever.
She bumped her head and went to sleep forever.
Oh, Art Evans, does he count? Is he a hit? in
No,
anything?
because he was in
Fright Night and Die Hard 2?
and with the movie that we just talked about, the Tales from the Hood.
Yeah.
Briefly.
Are we the only four people who know who he is besides his family?
we talked about it for 10 minutes.
Like, besides his family, who else
I have a
knows who
feeling
Art
some of
Evans
his
is?
kids don't know who he
Yeah,
is.
right.
If you know who Art Evans is, please write to us at 3 Geeky Dads and just say, I do.
And then we'll legally be married.
Excellent.
Forever.
To death do you, Pa, forever. Is that it? Are we all appetized out?
I got nothing
sounds
left.
Cool.
like.
Shall we
sounds
go?
like.
Shall we go to the main course?
Let's do it.
Let's do it, eh?
Main
Psyched.
course.
Tuna on white, no crust, right?
I don't know, how is it?
Every day for the last 3 weeks, you've been coming in here and you've been asking me how the tuna is now. It was crappy yesterday, it was crappy the day before, and guess what? Hasn't changed.
I'll have the tuna,
No crust?
no crust.
You know, kids, we here at 3 Geeky Dads often skip the action genre when choosing our movie for each episode.
And that's a crime.
It is. We especially seem to be lacking any movies that jump into martial arts. How criminal, you may be saying, especially since there are so many to choose from. Heck, Bruce Lee alone has made many to review and rave about. And we couldn't agree more.
Or name one of them.
Yeah.
Enter the Dragon.
So tonight,
And
Enter the
that's
Dragon
it.
and
That's all I
Fist
got.
of
Death Game.
Fury.
That
Death
Betty
Game.
never
No,
finished.
it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. None of this.
None of
matters.
them are in English, except for two.
So, well, Green Hornet. That's a TV show, but oh shit.
See, you're
All
fucking
it is,
around.
that's
And
See
you're,
what happened?
You
See
and
what
your
happened?
fucking laptop.
I was ready to go, but we stopped.
Why didn't you
The
ask for a
devil.
new laptop for Christmas, dear?
Because I'm afraid I'll get another one like this one. So tonight we are filling that need for talking about Bruce Lee movies by talking about a guy who loves Bruce Lee movies. As instead of entering the dragon, we enter a Target version Jackson 5 looking martial arts extraordinaire who takes on a gang of evildoers led by the offspring of Eddie Murphy and Gene Simmons while putting some kung fu to love fu on superstar Vanity. This is The Last Dragon, but the first pick of Tito. And if they're all as good as this one, well then shit. I now turn things over to you, Tito. Guide us with your wisdom, inspire us with your ways, and give me one good reason not to beat you over the head with a sock full of golf balls for making me watch this.
You know, I feel for you, Mark, not being lucky enough to have seen this as a young boy. This is a movie that was always on television when I was growing up. I absolutely love it. It has 3 of my favorite things: kung fu, hip hop, and magic. A little bit of magic at the end, and the magic between Vanity and Bruce Leroy.
Inexplicable.
That love that they share.
Yeah. That's not magic. That's science. It's called chemistry.
Chemistry. Yeah, it's screen magic, baby.
Derek. Oh yeah, I like that part. That's what you sounded like.
But yeah, I always been really big kung fu guy. Love this film. I miss the kind of blaxploitation era of film. You know, I think I was a little bit too young for it. And this is kind of like writing the end of that, but also transitioning into like the MTV era of like America or the world. And they kind of like had sex and made this really weird fucked up baby. I can't stop watching this movie. Like I picked it, and we had talked about it.
Kind of like Eddie Arcadian.
I watched it.
A real fucked up baby. The illegitimate bastard love child of Ernest Borgnine and George Costanza.
Oh, he's so great. Yeah,
see,
totally.
You know he's from Rhode Island?
Is he
Of course
really?
he
He
is.
He was born in Narragansett.
I
show up
had
in my-
George Costanza and Clint Howard.
That could see some of that
pretty
too.
good.
But when he smiled, he had that gap tooth,
Yeah.
and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, it's Ernest Borgnine."
Well, you got the little Clint Howard's got those.
Yeah, he does.
He's
Those
just
funny
a little
teeth.
wormy man. Anyway, continue. Tito.
No, that's
Sorry.
okay. But yeah, this has always been a favorite of mine, and I want to kick off with something like that was kind of fun, a little bit light, because I don't want to go too fucking because I could totally pick some movies that would just be like, wow, what a fucking downer that is. So I want to go on a high note.
Tito.
I want to go with what I thought was a high note, and I was really excited. I know Brian had seen it years ago.
I have.
You two had never seen it?
I had never seen it.
I was very excited for you guys to see
And
this
I
movie.
am very excited to talk
I
about
might
it.
have actually seen it once a long time ago, but not remember it. So
Same here.
it never
I didn't.
stuck.
I didn't
Sad
remember
for
a
you.
lot of it either.
Sad for
You
you.
didn't-
I remember
sad
the
for
end. I
me
remember
that I
the
have to watch it
glowing.
again.
The glow. Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
the
yeah.
glow.
Yeah.
Just let your soul.
I was watching a video recently that was like, was Bruce Leroy the first person ever on screen to go Super Saiyan? And I thought, oh wow, they stole that.
Oh, there
This
you go.
movie's even
Yes.
better than I thought it was.
Yeah.
But for the studio audience, let me give you a quick breakdown. It's the story of Bruce Leroy.
The studio audience.
The story of Bruce Leroy Green, who is obsessed with Kung Fu. Yeah, right?
I love
It's
it.
so
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's very punny, Mark.
He lives in Harlem. He seems to have no understanding of how Harlem works, even though he grew up there. He has a Kung Fu master that teaches him about this thing called the final level, and he wants to attain the final level. And in the process of this, he comes across this beautiful woman that he falls in love with and wants to lose his virginity to, I think. Or at the very
Doesn't he
least
even
make out
know
to.
what that is?
He has no idea what it is.
I think
Again,
he's that clueless.
He's in his 20s, but
His 12-year-old brother knows more about sex than this
I've
guy
never
does.
been brother. with
a woman. I don't know how that works.
And in the middle of all this, he is face to face with his greatest nemesis, that Shonuff, the Shogun of Harlem. Not a drug dealer, not really a gangster. He just fights really well and just wants to fight other people.
Out there making an honest living.
who he hears are really good fighters. Opening thoughts, gentlemen. The Last Dragon. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I can't wait to talk about this movie because so going into it, I was thinking Enter the Dragon, and I was thinking like this is going to be a serious martial arts movie. I'm like, cool, you know, I'm as excited for it. I haven't seen a lot of those types of movies, and it caught me off guard at first. But once I got over that initial like, oh, this is not what I thought it was, I fucking loved this movie. It was a lot of fun. Killer soundtrack. Like every song like tells the story of the movie, so it's fantastic.
This is what you're watching on the screen right now?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
like clearly, like
Yeah, right.
like
All movies should have that.
and absolutely.
Toto.
And you can find the album on Spotify if you are a Spotify.
You can, it's
member.
on Apple
I have
Music
been listening
also.
to it all day.
Yeah. No, the masses know that you need to glow. You need to glow. And you're like, oh, that's what
What was that song that was like towards the beginning that started out sounding just like a Journey song, but then totally went like left?
All of them.
But this one, I'm listening to, I'm like, is this actually a Journey song? I didn't know that Journey was on the soundtrack, and then the song got until the next verse, and I'm like, oh, this is not.
Know
Journey
who's on
at
the
all.
soundtrack? Rockwell. And now I can say that I know two songs by
all
Rockwell.
right.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad
Rockwell's on
he
the
did
soundtrack.
something else.
I'm trying to think because I know all the songs in this movie.
But I don't know. I loved it. It was a lot of fun, and the characters are just fucking bonkers, and I love it. And it's entertaining. It's a fun movie. When you take it for what it is, it's totally 80s.
It's very 80s.
Yeah, I mean, and there's a few things where I was like, eh. The fact that like big name stars wanted to be in this movie. Wesley Snipes, Lawrence Fishburne, Denzel Washington, all three auditioned hard to be Bruce Leroy.
Leroy Jenkins.
But at the time, they were not big name stars.
No, but like, I am so glad that they weren't in it because I feel like it would have been a different movie.
Yeah.
And I
we probably wouldn't have got Cowboy Curtis.
That's right. You know? We would have had some weirdo as Cowboy Curtis. Some weirdo like Taekwon.
Yeah, Pee-wee.
Tigwan.
What is it? What is it?
Tiamat.
Time out. Like time mock. Like how they say your name where you're from. Mock.
Mock? Yeah. Where I'm from.
Yeah,
what?
Where are you from? Someplace in Massachusetts where they say Mock.
Yeah. No one has ever said where I'm from. Mock. Not that way in Bridgewater.
His name is Mock, and thanks a lot.
Mock.
That's how they sound in my head.
That's fine. That's
Mock.
fine.
But yeah,
time out.
Whatever keeps you entertained.
I'm like so looking forward to the rest of this month. Like you started strong, and I'm loving it.
So I wish I had saved this one. Who wants to go next?
Put your best foot forward.
Yeah, it's true.
Am I up?
Yeah, whoever wants to go next.
You're up. Want me to go next?
Don't spare my feelings.
You look like you're ready to go.
Your
mouth.
Tito, I just want to know what we did to you, man. I do not agree with Derek, and I just want to know. If this year has been so bad, you should have spoke up. Honestly, don't wait. Don't hold it in so long, and then say I'm gonna fucking get these guys back.
I thought all the sleeping I did would include you guys in. Right? I just pass out at the end of these movies.
Oh, he's talking Star Wars again.
Don't spare my feelings, man.
No.
I don't think he is.
No, he's rolling with the punches.
And Tito, you got to roll with the punches.
Oh, no, yeah.
Van Halen taught you that.
It was a movie.
That it was.
It happened, and we did nothing to stop it.
Are we talking like 1 million BC bad?
Oh, man.
Don't you be dissing Raquel.
Yeah, but that's not like your favorite.
No, it's not my favorite. No.
Fired.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure trying to.
Yeah. No, it was. I'm gonna say it was entertaining, and I know it was like an action/comedy, but I think there was more unintentional comedy bits in it than they intended.
I agree with you 100%. I think they're taking themselves
way too seriously.
Totally serious.
Yeah.
See, that's the question. Did they do that on purpose? Were they like, we're gonna treat this serious?
No, I just don't think they knew what they were doing.
I kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the director was a comedy director. He did. Coolie High, and he did. What was the other comedy he did? And they're more blaxploitation, more funnier films. Car Wash.
Oh, he did Car Wash.
Yeah. So.
So I feel
Michael
like they
Schultz
knew.
is the director. I think where they're trying to be funny, I find funny when they're intentionally trying to be funny.
Yeah.
But seeing your point of view, absolutely, I think there are points where you're like, this is totally absurd.
I don't think the whole
it's on
subplot
purpose.
with this Eddie Arcadian guy was needed. I think if it was just like Tiamat versus Shonuff, that would have been it. Why did this video producer with his like 50-year-old Cyndi Lauper wannabe singer?
God. Oh, yeah.
Dirty Bucks.
Yeah.
Dirty Bucks.
Oh my God. It was horrible. Every time they were on screen together, and his fucking henchman, his name was
Gas
Rock.
Man. The Gas Man from fucking Dumb and Dumber.
I've seen him before.
Yes, Gas Man.
Matthew Starr?
Yes, his last name is Starr.
It's not Matthew.
The powers of Matthew Starr couldn't save this movie.
Mike Starr.
Mike Starr.
He's
Okay.
Rock.
Matthew Starr is
he
somebody
plays the
totally
Rock.
different. Mike Starr is brother.
He plays Rock.
He's in Goodfellas.
The bum boxer.
He helps come up with the Lufthansa heist.
Yeah, so he's good.
Yeah.
He's good.
Yeah, he's
Actually,
great.
well,
We love
when we
him.
get to the categories, we'll come
There
to
were
love
parts of this movie that were entertaining, but overall, I was not a fan.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair.
All right, so
It breaks my heart, but that's okay.
I'm going to play Maki in the middle here. Because
I like monkey in the middle. I like that.
And did you hear how he said his own name?
Maki
With
in
no
the
R.
middle.
Maki in the middle.
Maki in the middle.
Yeah, right. That's how they say it in
Just for you.
Bridgewater.
No, they don't.
Maki.
They say, get out of the bushes, sir.
Why don't you get out of the bathroom and give someone else a chance? You've been in there all day and night.
I did not like it as much as Derek, but I did not hate it as much as Brian. I am slowly in middle ground. I love the second half of this movie.
Yeah.
I agree 100% with Brian. I don't like the Arcadian, whatever the hell his name is. I love Vanity. She's great. Not needed. That whole plot with her, I would have just much rather it had been Shonuff, Timok, the oh god, freaking little Ernie Reyes.
Little Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah.
Johnny Yu is fantastic.
Parts of this movie.
Yeah.
I didn't expect it to be funny. I like blaxploitation. I like comedy, so it wasn't what I expected, but I was okay with that. The problem was that the first half was just boring. It was just a little slow for me. And then it picked up in the second half, and I thought, okay, I get it. I get what's good about
Sounds
this.
a lot like Alligator.
No. Alligator is just 100% gold through and through. Stop trying to make this a thing. I'm kind of siding with you here. You fucking
Robert
bastard.
Forster loses hair as the movie is going on.
That's true, yeah. Robert
hilarious.
Forster should be in this movie.
He should have been,
It would have been
Eddie
awesome.
Arcadian.
That would have been better.
Right? He would have been like the little edgier.
No, I mean, that whole character, that whole subplot, what's her name? Who I can't remember.
Oh, Faith Prince? Yeah, who was
not a fan.
Angela
I like
Veracco?
Mike Starr. There was a tank full of piranhas that we'll get to it that they never fucking went back to.
Yeah.
There was a lot of opportunities missed in this movie. I would watch it again. I don't think I'd throw it in a regular rotation, but if it was on, I'd give it another chance.
Give it a shot?
So
Okay.
yeah, but there is
the guy was
plenty
a
of-
small-time video producer that wanted to be a Bond villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Even worse, he just owned a bunch of arcades.
Yeah.
Good for him.
He was Noah's Arcade, but like angrier, right? And he had this chick that he was trying to make famous who wasn't really good at much.
Mr. Litwack, it doesn't work again.
So,
Which is just an act because Faith Prince is talented.
Oh, I'm sure she
oh,
is.
she's like a Broadway
She's a
star.
she's a
Is she
Broadway
really?
vet.
Yeah.
No, she has that moment in the movie when she kind of drops the shtick and says, "You're using me. You're only using me." And then
Oh, that
she
monologue.
yeah,
yes,
yeah.
But again, it's
Yeah.
just completely
class.
useless to the plot.
It is.
doesn't need to be there.
No.
None of
Yeah,
that.
I'm not a
if
fan
showing
of
up
that.
is so bad, why does he need to side with this 2-bit, like you said, arcade owner?
Shown up.
It's so stupid.
yeah, you get the kind of disrespect from him where he's just like, I need this guy because he's going to set up the fight that I want.
Right,
Because
right.
no one else can set this fight up because this guy won't fight me.
I like how Shonuff shows up with the lined glasses. Reminded
Awesome.
me of
Oh, that
Big
was
Trouble
so
in Little
80s.
China.
Very
Yeah.
Oh, the Lords of Death.
Yep.
Yeah, I had a pair of those.
Those are awesome.
They didn't block the sun. They didn't do anything.
They didn't
You
do
just
shit.
wore
They had
them.
no lenses.
The Shogun of Harlem.
So
A bunch of people died that made this movie. There's like,
It's like the
Julie's
curse.
Oh, is this like
Shonuff
Poltergeist?
died.
Curse.
Shonuff died?
Shonuff died. Julius
Ah.
Carey
Oh, yeah.
passed away.
Pancreatic
Yeah.
cancer.
Vanity died
Vanity
like a
died.
couple of months after Prince died.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the
Yeah.
kid who plays Richie passed away from like he got shot,
Yep.
went to the hospital, they sewed him up, the stitches didn't take or
Like
something.
Keisha Knight Pulliam had to work with Cosby for about
Keisha
10,
Knight
12 years.
Pulliam, yeah.
God knows what happened there.
Oh, well,
She
I'm
didn't
not,
become
I'm
a
not
star,
touching
that's
that one. No.
William H. Macy married.
Oh, yeah, William H. Macy,
Oh,
that cameo.
William H. Macy.
Married
Yes.
a felon.
First acting role. First
Yeah.
acting role.
Yes,
for-
with his, wearing his day glow jumpsuit. There. I was like, who the hell's this guy?
Chaz
Oh my God,
Palminteri.
that's William
Chaz
H.
Palminteri's in this, and I missed it.
Yeah, me too. I
He's
saw him
the
in the
limo
credits.
driver.
Really?
He's the limo driver.
Limo driver, Derek.
Chaz
Did they even
Palminteri's
show
the
his
limo-
face, or is he just shown from the back?
He gets his ass kicked. He's the guy that gets thrown through the limo door window.
Oh,
He gets out. He's
all
the
right.
driver. He says, Sal's not here tonight. Just be quiet and enjoy the
Oh,
ride.
now I got to watch it
Something
again.
to that effect. You should watch it again.
I'm a huge
once
Chaz
a month for the
All
rest
right,
of your
well,
life.
I'll tell you what. We'll do we'll
guess
do
what?
an alligator
Even when it leaves HBO?
Last Dragon double feature.
You can watch it on
And we're
Voodoo
gonna
now,
we'll
'cause I
convert
just
each
bought it.
other. That sounds
What?
dirtier than it's meant
No,
to
we
be.
can
You
do
just
it.
bought it on
All
Voodoo?
We
right.
can do it.
Okay. Do
All right.
you fellows hear that? It's going to be an alligator Last Dragon double feature.
Back to
and
back.
we're
We'll
gonna
watch
give it
Last
another
Dragon
chance.
first, and
That's
then I
right.
can fall asleep.
Fall asleep for
No,
alligator.
no, we're going to watch alligator first, motherfucker. No, you don't get off that easy.
Well, I'll fall asleep at the end of Alligator. You wake me up for Last Dragon?
No, that doesn't work either.
I'm Ron Burgundy?
Yeah.
Well, question mark on the teleprompter.
All right, so let me give you some backstory on this bad boy. Directed by Michael Schultz. Like I said, he did Car Wash, he did Cooley High, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band.
Oh my God, he did that
Yeah,
too?
he did that movie. He
Oh,
did
Jesus.
Bustin' Loose with Richard Pryor's in a bunch of his films.
Yep.
Which Way Is Up, written by Louis Vanasta. He did nothing of relevance after this film, unfortunately.
Full nos.
But he's working on a Last Dragon remake of some kind.
I heard it was going to be a cartoon,
Oh, that's a bummer.
like an animated show.
Yeah,
What?
I like that.
It's easier to animate the glow.
I want some dudes. I want some real dudes.
Tito needs some dudes,
doing
Jeff.
some real shit.
Oh, well, wait till you hear my idea for the sequel.
Oh, I can't wait.
Oh, yeah.
Produced by Barry Gordy, founder of Motown Records. Want to get into filmmaking. He did Lady Sings the Blues, the story of Billie Holiday. Billie Holiday, excuse me, and Mahogany, also starring Diana Ross. And then decided he wanted to get into this kind of actiony, hip-hoppy commercial for his artist movie. I will say that's the least favorite part of this movie for me is the amount of music videos and how long they are.
Yeah.
I like Faith Prince's character. I think if you didn't have to see so many of her music videos, she would be a lot more interesting and a lot more fun.
Yeah, all
for
of
the
that
movie.
stops the movie.
It does.
Totally.
Yeah, dead in its tracks.
Yeah, El DeBarge.
Like, DeBarge. Oh,
I love
classic
that part.
song. I love that song.
I was like,
you
wow,
you don't need the
he looks
video.
young.
though.
Yeah.
You don't need the video.
Oh, I don't
They
know.
play it on MTV
I
like
don't
ad
think I,
nauseum.
I don't think I ever saw it, and I'm excited and I'm glad that I did get a chance to see it. I never knew that he looked like that. And
Oh, the guy's about like
The whole
4
gang,
foot nothing.
DeBarge.
Yeah.
He was married to Janet Jackson.
was he?
Yeah, secretly.
Really?
Wow.
No.
Yeah. And there's Chico. You guys know Chico DeBarge? He
Chico
works
the
with
Man?
a lot of rappers. He spent a lot of time in prison.
Is there a
apparently.
Zeppo DeBarge too?
There may be. There's like 4 dudes and a sister. And then
There's a Harpo, a Chico, a Zeppo, and an El.
DeBarge did the song for Who's Johnny from Short
Yes,
Circuit.
yeah, from Short
where-
Circuit.
You ever see the
That's
video
right.
where he's sitting in the courtroom singing from the...
No.
Mark, you never seen that?
I have not.
We'll watch that video.
I kind of want to, though.
It's DeBarge did a song for
Johnny
that.
Five?
It's called Who's Johnny?
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it's
See,
hilarious.
that's cool. Probably.
We have Ty
Cool
Mach,
work.
who has no previous acting experience.
This
He
was his
a kung
first role,
fu-
right?
I'll tell you this much.
First role.
He does
Clearly.
not. He does not use contractions, which bothers me.
That's
when
on
a person
purpose.
Does this? I know. Drives me nuts. Data did it all the time in Star Trek.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you
but
were
I-
talking about
but-
Data from the Goonies. I was like, wait a minute.
Data from Star Trek.
He's all over
Do we
the
need
place.
another? Do we need another Asian caricature here?
No,
Data's
sir.
all over
I'm
the
not gonna
place in
confuse
that movie.
Derek again. Nope. No.
Keeping my mouth
zipping
shut.
his mouth.
Keeping my mouth shut for this whole conversation.
Nope.
Although he does
Fill it
that,
with
I
beer,
ain't
my
your
friend.
brother.
I
He
cannot.
does repeat that part.
Oh,
I
he does.
ain't your
Yeah, but
brother.
he's repeating it.
He's repeating it. Yeah,
And
yeah.
and Data was a machine, at least. I like him now.
I think it was supposed to be
cannot.
that he was kind
I
of
will
like,
not.
you know,
Oh, I know why.
he's
Yeah.
adopting this persona.
He's trying to be all wise and
Yeah.
I, get
I always
it.
thought
I get it.
I feel like it adds to the idea that like he's been living on top of his roof maybe for the last 20 years and hasn't spoken to
It's funny you
another
say
human
that.
being
It's
besides his master.
It's funny you
And his
say
brother?
that because another movie that came out 20 years later is very much like that. Ghost Dog Way of the Warrior.
Oh yeah.
With
yeah. Forrest Whitaker.
Forrest Whitaker,
Yeah,
where
yeah.
he plays a black martial artist who lives on his roof,
Eats
takes
ice
care
cream.
of his pigeons,
Yeah,
but
flips
then
pigeons.
he unwittingly gets mixed up with the mob.
Falls in
And-
love with the
Yeah.
It's that
girl.
Jim Jarmusch movie.
Jim Jarmusch. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love his stuff.
Yeah.
RZA did the soundtrack. A lot of.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah,
Nice.
Soundtrack's
I didn't know
done by
that.
RZA.
I want to see that
Yeah,
again.
that-
I have not seen
pretty
that.
good.
Yeah. Put that on your voodoo instead
Ghost
of
Dog.
instead of this one.
It's too late.
We'll have a double feature.
Throw them all on your voodoo. This is during an age of like I think this guy probably should have been some kind of star,
Yeah.
A big bright shining
some kind
sun,
of something.
but he wasn't hung up.
You know, he's signed to he's signed to Motown, so he's kind of stuck in Motown. He never gets the opportunity to do anything else because he's
So he had to move to Detroit
He's
after making this movie?
contractually
Oh.
obligated
Take him
to
to
Barry
Detroit.
Gordy, and they just kind of dicked him around on sequels that never happened. And then at some point he was like, "Well, I think I should get more money."
Yeah.
And they were like, "No, forget it. But you'll stay contractually obligated." And they would throw money at him from time to time. Nothing major, but. And
He
then
has had a
just
few
kinda-
roles here and there, but
Yeah, I think he played Patrick Swayze's character from Roadhouse in a musical version where he wears like a blonde wig. And
Oh,
he's
that's
Dalton.
creepy.
He plays Dalton in a musical version of Roadhouse.
no kidding.
Yeah, it's sad. He's at every Comic-Con. You'll see him at every single Comic-Con.
Well,
He's
yeah.
a really nice guy.
I'm gonna go see
Have you met
now.
him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a nice dude.
Yeah.
Very cool guy. But like this is the age of like everybody who could do kung fu, whether you could act or not,
Yeah.
got a movie. Fucking Billy Blanks made movies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
Don the Dragon Wilson, Chuck Norris is kind of on his ascent.
Yep.
This guy, I think, had a chance to get something. He should have, at the very least, had a direct-to-video
Something.
Career.
Yeah.
career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Billy Blanks never had a movie in a theater, but I saw all of them. But he just never, he didn't take off like he should have. You have Vanity in this. She has that Nasty Girl song.
Yeah.
That was very popular.
She was in Action Jackson.
She was in Action Jackson. She was in that movie with John Stamos, remember, and Gene Simmons.
Yeah, we were the one I texted you about, right? And the guy from Big Trouble in Little China's in it too, as his friend.
Oh,
is that the one we're talking about?
Yeah,
Lightning. No,
yeah, no, it's like
Lightning.
something die. It's
the
like
one with the swords. I can't remember.
It's like
his
a
name.
fake version of James Bond, and John Stamos is the James Bond in this movie.
Are you kidding me?
No, it's
No,
cool.
Why have I never heard of this?
I hadn't heard of
Gene
it either.
Simmons plays a transvestite. At the time, that's what he's
why
called.
are we not watching this one?
Yeah, you never seen it?
No,
It's the
I
same.
don't
It's
even know what
got
the name of
boobs.
it is.
Well,
Never
next-
Too Young to Die.
No,
Never too,
It's
never
called
too
Never
late
Too
to
Young
change
to Die.
those
does
picks
not ring
there,
a bell
Tito.
at all, man.
Came
But
out in
I'm
1986.
But I'm on board.
calling me curious.
We need to find
Gene
that.
Simmons.
I know what we're watching
George
after.
Lazenby is in it.
Oh, speaking of Bond,
Yeah, George Lazenby. Oh, Peter Kwong, who plays Rain in Big Trouble in Little China,
Rain,
plays
okay.
his
that's what it
buddy.
is.
he was
Right.
one of the henchmen.
Robert Englund has a appearance in the film.
How
It's
man.
really, really bad. It was streaming on something. I think
I
you
caught
said
it
you were
on
watching
Pluto.
it, so then I started watching
I
it
caught it on Pluto.
Pluto.
because I
And
forgot
I was like, wait, John Stamos.
how
Oh,
awful
hell yeah.
it is. It's real bad. Like, real bad.
I do like Vanity. Anybody remember Highlander: The Gathering?
Yeah.
The pilot for the TV show, the
Yeah.
2-hour pilot. She is in that.
Is she?
She is an immortal in that film.
I don't remember that. I remember Richard
beau-
Mall
she was a
being in the
beautiful girl.
pilot.
She was.
Yeah, she's phenomenal.
And awesome to look at
Yeah.
in this movie.
She's
Well,
great
and
to
the
look
funny
at.
thing is that like
Just a little-
at this
little
time she was known for like, those racy kind of
Oh, yeah.
videos and always
Yeah.
wearing lingerie and singing dirty things.
yeah.
Sound
That's
of
kind
Music.
Prince's
And she
thing.
totally was against type in this movie. Like she doesn't take her clothes off. She's very
Well,
like,
we don't have to take our clothes off.
To have a good time?
Yeah, exactly.
Rest in peace to that. He passed away.
Yep.
Yeah. But she's kind of bordering on this very like, because it like I think it works. They play off each other. Him being this very innocent and a not so knowledgeable person, and her
Very
being this
naive.
very
Yeah.
like she's a vixen. As much as she is not like overly sexual.
Yeah.
she is a bit of a vixen, more knowledgeable with how sex works. And he is not, which blows my
Like
fucking
I said,
mind.
even his 12-year-old brother was more
Even his
knowledgeable.
12-year-old Richie's, he's
Oh
the
God,
best.
that kid drove me nuts.
Yeah.
You don't like Richie?
No, when that kid got thrown around, I was laughing.
You think he was thrown in the
I-
trash with the-
no. Ernie Reyes, Reyes all the way, man.
The pizza place that makes pasta all of a sudden in the trash and dumps them in the trash.
Kennedy likes me. She doesn't like you. Kid, you're 12.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah.
Give me a break.
Take your hands off my woman. There's a really great part where he starts popping and locking his way
Oh,
out
to
of
get
the
his way
room.
out. Genius. Even my wife said that. She's like, what the fuck am I looking at?
And it goes to the music. It goes to the music as he's like.
I think that's when she got up and left. She's like, he's popping and locking his way out of these
It gets
ropes.
so good after that.
Kathy gave it a try, huh?
That's what it
Sarah,
was.
Sarah didn't even bother. She's like, nah.
No,
That's one of my
and then
favorite
Kathy
parts.
came down later. She says, "Are you still watching?" I said, "Oh my god!" I said, "The movie ended like 10 minutes after you got up." She said, "Are you serious?"
It's a quick watch. So 40 pages of this film got deleted.
Yes.
They needed
Yeah.
a short.
Yeah.
So every scene you see, that is the script. They shot
There was
every
a third
single
plot
thing.
in this movie.
So imagine if
Ty
they
Mac
take
and his dog.
yeah, right. Imagine taking all those music videos out. It's 60 minutes maybe.
Well, yeah,
Wow.
one of the
Right,
writers,
yeah.
like, one of them fell asleep at the hotel room.
Yeah,
And
and
the
the other
other
one-
writer deleted.
Delete. It was like, oh no, we lost 40 pages magically. I guess we know
Don't
what we're
wake
cutting.
up. Don't wake up.
Imagine that they filmed every single thing. I just want to. Julius Carey is one of the last guys I'm going to talk about
Yeah.
in this film. Shown up. I
Shown
think
Up.
he, outside of Johnny, who I think is pretty slept on, Shown Up steals this fucking every
Oh,
scene
he
he's in.
absolutely does.
Totally.
He
He
is
is so
such a
hammy.
good bad guy.
Yeah.
Such a good bad
He
guy.
is entertaining to watch. I will say.
He has, outside of Johnny, all of my favorite lines come from Shown Up.
Uh-huh.
Every single
Absolutely.
one. I can't repeat is like one of my when he's like in the movie theater.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes actually.
Dude, great scene.
Yes.
Yeah. And I didn't realize that he played Bruce Campbell's sidekick in Briscoe County Jr.
Yeah, he's
Yes.
Lord Bowler.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes,
Lord
I didn't
Bowler.
realize that
I
that was him.
Absolutely love that show.
Yeah, I've got to watch that one again. I
love
haven't
it.
seen that since the 90s.
Absolutely loved it.
That was a good show.
And you have, so Ernie Reyes Jr.'s dad does some of the fight choreography. I think he choreographs the scenes that Ernie Reyes is in.
Oh, it's awesome.
He fights him.
He fights him. Yeah, he fights. He's the guy in the.
Oh, really?
And he's
Oh,
the guy
wow.
in the fatigues.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the guy in the
all
fatigues
right.
that he's fighting at the end. He does the popping and locking, and he comes up and he kicks him in the face.
We'll
It's
get
very
to
hip hop.
that.
This movie, but not really. It's just hip
It's
hop.
not in
enough.
your face hip hop.
No.
It's not. It's
No.
one of those things where
There's
like
a whiff of hip hop.
there's a whiff. It's one of those things like growing up as much as I love, the culture of hip hop, like you would grasp at anything you could get. So for me, it was like, okay, this guy's kind of rapping in it. He's not a rapper. I've never heard of this fucking guy, but at least he's rhyming. And there's kind of a
this
beat.
kid's popping and locking.
And there's kids like kind of breakdancing in this movie. So yeah, okay, I'll accept it. And that's another thing that always like stuck with me, with the music and with the breakdancing aspect of and the hip hop ish. And I always think that's why Motown folded, because like if you're watching this movie, you're like, you guys are kind of not with the times.
It's like their last grasp.
Yeah, they kind of
like being relevant.
Missed the boat. It was like Barry Gordy met Smokey Robinson and just made boatloads of money with him writing songs for all of these fucking immensely famous people. And then Smokey Robinson doesn't know how to write for the times. And he lost Michael Jackson, and
I don't know.
Diana Ross got older, and it's just like they all kind of moved on and found other careers and things.
Yeah,
and
left
he
them
just
behind.
never found that thing that could keep Motown going, which is a bummer because there's like some amazing fucking music.
Oh my God, yeah.
Plus, I like they say he was a fucking awful person that never paid anybody. So
very
funny.
yeah. So it's like it makes sense.
Show me a music producer that isn't like
yeah,
that.
true that.
He's the Bob
No,
Kane
but he was
of the
notorious
music
for
industry.
it.
Yeah.
I think I want to say John Mulaney does a bit on him.
Oh, really?
Mr. Berry Gordy. Like, yeah, he did say that.
All right, I gotta check that out.
Well, I just signed right here, Mr. Berry Gordy.
Glenn Eaton is another character that never did another thing after this. I think he had like a few TV things, but I think if anybody outside of Ernie Reyes, who just like sparkles when he's on the fucking screen, he's such an adorable kid. You're like, oh, this kid could be famous. Johnny is so funny, so natural, and like everything he's doing is in fact an actual martial artist.
Yeah.
But plays the role of like bumbling idiot.
Yeah, totally see that. Again,
He's
in the second
so
half of
well.
the movie.
Oh, when he's actually when he starts
man.
fighting and he's doing the
dude.
nunchucks and does the cartwheel, it's phenomenal. And he has another one of my two of my favorite lines, like
Don't
string
lock me in,
bean,
I'm
Rick
afraid of the
James
dark.
looking fool. Yeah. How about you? You string he's like, you ugly, smelly breath sucker. I think he's so funny. He should have been a star and he wasn't, and it really bums me out.
All I got to do is look scary. And
All I got to do,
scream. I love
scream.
that.
People are afraid. They say the word
People are
Oriental in
afraid
this
of
movie
that.
so many times.
Yeah.
This movie had a lot of appropriation.
Yeah.
Even
It was
he's like, it's going both ways though, which is so interesting.
Yes.
Let's go into some of the categories. Let's talk favorite scenes.
Okay. I
Who wants
got
to
my
go?
notes here.
Yeah.
Who
Okay.
wants to start?
the movie theater for
Brian didn't like
No,
anything
I still had
about
some
this
favorite
movie.
scenes. No, I did like the movie theater at the beginning.
You want to? All right. So favorite. Okay.
And I like the finale, but the fortune cookie trio.
Those three guys?
God, I
Yeah.
love them.
Oh God,
And the
yes,
name of
I
the
forgot
place
about them.
was
that-
some dumb
Yeah,
goy.
some dumb goy. Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's said to be the wisest of all.
Yeah.
of all the bastards.
And he didn't get it that it was a joke.
No, that's how
That's
stupid
how
he is.
out
That's
of touch
amazing.
this kid is.
Stupid
His
man.
fucking master is playing him. Yeah, seek out some dumb guy.
And then he comes back to him, and the guy's like,
You idiot.
Oh, you got the joke?
Dude, so
he fucking Glendis him. He's like, oh, the shoes were on your feet
Right.
all along.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thanks,
right.
Dick. I almost died.
He's got that great. So is what's the favorite scene of yours?
It's a toss-up. The movie theater scene was really good, but I love Johnny Yu and his name Ernie Reyes, Ty. Ty fighting together.
Oh, when they fight
When they're
the kid,
fighting
yeah,
together
they can fight the guy.
in the showdown scene at the end, fucking awesome. I wanted that whole movie, and we'll get to that.
Yeah. All right.
That was
Yeah.
my favorite scene. I mean, the martial arts in this movie were legit, and they were awesome.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
It just, it just took a while to get there. For me.
It's not amazing, obviously, based on what you see today. It's,
No,
but
I
it's
thought it was
good.
pretty amazing.
It's good for
though.
the,
I'm
especially
gonna say.
the choreographed fight scenes with them, with
Yeah.
Ernie Reyes, with his dad, are really like fun and more like I want to say dance kind of more choreographed, where they're just like fun, cool scenes where some of the fighting is a little bit more, and it was fight choreographed by 3 different guys. So Ernie Reyes does the back end of the movie. The guy who was Tai Mok's actual kung fu teacher did like the middle half of the fighting scenes, and he is the guy. There's a scene where the big guy tries to eat the nunchuck.
Oh yeah.
And Leroy's getting beat with the chain with the guy wearing a mask. That was
the
actually his
the Mohawk Santa.
Yeah, he was actually one of the fight choreographers and Tai Mok's actual. After interviewing all these people or trying out all these people, he was like, well, how about this guy? He can't act, but he can actually do kung fu. So that's kind of how he got the role. And you can see the styles because Shonuff's style is it's like tiger, I guess, almost. And he's wearing he wears a tiger. He wears a fucking tiger at the movie theater. It's awesome. It's awesome. I love Shonuff. My favorite scene is every scene with Shonuff.
I can see that.
And then I go Johnny and Ernie Reyes as ties. But he is, from the moment you see him, and again, I don't know what his deal is. He doesn't sell drugs. They're not really a gang that's like stealing shit. They don't steal cars. They just go around from town to town. He's back, but we don't know where from. Maybe prison. Maybe he beat the last guy so bad.
Maybe he just went to Queens.
He went to jail. Right. Or maybe
he tried being the Shogun of Queens.
Dude, that's why I like. It's got this very like throwback feel of. Right, that martial arts film where like you went from place to place. Like I hear you're the greatest fighter of this town, and we fight, and that's how we determine who the best is. And that's what a lot of when you see these older Chinese films, it's kind of based on that. What's your style? I think my style is better, and I can beat you. He is literally going from borough to borough. Like who's the baddest man in Harlem? Bruce Leroy. All right, I'm gonna fight him.
It's an old hired gun thing. It's the old west.
Yeah, right.
You know, top dog. I'm gonna take out the top dog. He just harasses a lot of people.
He steals every scene he's in. I just love it. Least favorite? Or do we have any other really favorite scenes?
Brian, do you have a favorite scene at all?
I said the movie theater.
Yeah.
I like the movie theater at the beginning when they introduced Shonuff.
What was your least favorite scene?
The rest of it.
Okay.
The other hour and 27 minutes. All right.
Probably any. No. No, not that bad, Tito. But any scene that has Eddie Arcadian and what's her name?
Faith Prince.
Faith Prince.
Angela Veracco.
That just bugged the fuck out of me. I'm like, come on, just get on with Shonuff and Leroy. I don't want to see this horse shit.
I like Eddie Arcadian because he is so over the top and it's so nonsensical.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole movie is.
And that's why
it's
I
like
didn't
this
like
guy
him.
runs an arcade and now he wants to be a fucking mob
video
boss.
producer. Yeah, or something.
To the point where William H. Macy is afraid for his life.
Yeah.
He's like,
you're going to be in Shameless.
Come on, man, you're the shoveler.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, you're going to be in the Psycho remake.
Yep.
I will say, Brian, my least favorite scenes are scenes with music videos.
Yeah, that would have been my second choice if it wasn't for the if Eddie and Faith Prince wasn't in it, then any scene with music videos that just stopped the film completely.
Yeah, it does. It holds it up, and like you really only need to see her one time.
Seriously,
where you're just like, okay, she sucks.
Yeah,
you don't need to see the other parts. Again, I like the scene where she's dressed like the taxi cab and she has that moment.
Yeah.
She's a misguided midget asshole, never blah 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 blah. Just like great line. I apologize for it. It's a direct quote. I like her, but I wish they would cut out a lot. Now when I watch it, I'm just like, make this movie an hour and 15 minutes, and
I want to see what the other 40 pages.
Take out. Yeah, me too. Because
we were left with this.
I would have liked to have seen like Shogun kick his ass a couple of times.
Right.
The scene where another one of my favorite scenes. I'm gonna bounce back, but when Shonuff comes to the dojo
and tries to make him kiss his
tries
feet.
to make him kiss his sneakers, and another great line, "Kiss my Converse." And Leroy's dressed like Bruce Lee from Game of Death.
Yeah.
And he's wearing the yellow jumpsuit, and he's like giving Johnny all these words of wisdom, and the response is always, "Huh?" You know, which I just love the character.
Johnny doesn't need to be schooled. He's a rebel.
There might have been more scenes with Johnny, and I hope that might have been the case because I would have liked to see more Johnny.
Mark, what about you? What was your least favorite?
My least favorite as well, the Faith Prince. No, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, Faith Prince. Yeah,
I was,
Eddie.
And it's in a category, so I'll get to it. I just didn't like the actor who played Arcadian. I didn't think he was menacing enough. I wouldn't understand why people are afraid of him. It looks like, you got Mike Starr, who looks like he could kick his ass just by looking at him.
Yeah.
And he's following orders from this little,
but that's kind of always the case. There's always
the big dumb idiot.
It's Master Blaster.
But the smaller people in charge usually have a reason. They're either crazy or there's something menacing or scary about them. You know, like, I don't know, ventriloquist in Scarface, for example. Why do people take orders from a fucking dummy? You know, they know that it's the ventriloquist, a little man, he's unhinged. You know, if this guy were a little more unhinged or, you know,
when he gets there, I feel like
I don't think he ever gets there.
I think
it's
he goes
like watching
a
a banker in a
more
movie.
Crazy throughout the movie.
See, I don't think he does. I think he never goes anywhere. He's just like,
I don't know if he goes crazy. He seems to get a little bit more desperate.
Yeah.
It seems like he's running out of time.
I mean, when you get to the end, I think he's just like over the top.
Yeah.
And like ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't like. I didn't really like. Not that I don't like Vanity, because I do. But like, they were just uncomfortable scenes every time her and Timac were together.
They're just like, a little out of place.
The whole romance between them, and it felt weird. It was like, oh no, she doesn't.
I would say the only music video I would not get rid of is the fucking Bruce Lee montage with the song. Oh, the best. No, that you need to glow. You need to glow. And he learns how to kiss a woman from watching a Bruce Lee clip. Mwah, if I could, just perfection.
He was so happy.
He practices kissing a woman by kissing his Bruce Lee poster at home.
Yeah, right.
It's a tender moment.
He's making out with his fucking Game of Death poster.
Magical moment right there, man.
All right, what would you change?
The whole thing.
I see a running gag.
I would change. Like I said, I would get rid of Eddie. I would totally get rid of Eddie. I don't think he's needed at all. Just Shonuff is a much better bad guy than and he doesn't need Eddie.
Yeah.
I don't think he needs Eddie at all. I think it's a stupid waste of time having him in the movie.
You can find another way for him to have to save the girl.
Seriously.
Yeah.
I just have Shonuff, capture her. Like, and how many times did she get kidnapped and he had to rescue her? Twice?
Yeah, a few times.
She's the worst.
I just think that Shonuff's just not that kind of guy. He's not a kidnapper. He just wants to fight somebody.
Yeah, I know. But he's got all those guys.
A brute.
He's got all those like his henchmen. They could kidnap her. Yeah. And he can lie in wait.
Crunch, Beast, Cyclone. Those fucking weirdos.
Merman.
They're wearing fighter pilot like caps. I love it. From like the 50s.
Oh, I thought you were naming He-Man figures.
No, I wish.
Merman.
I wish.
Beastman.
What about you
Manny
gentlemen?
faces?
I just would have done away with the romance thing altogether. Like, it doesn't. There's other motives that you can have to want to be the hero.
Yeah.
And not to mention, like, Shonuff kept pushing him, and like, it's admirable that he's trying to, he's Miyagiing it, really.
Yeah.
He's like trying to be non-combative, but it's like,
right.
I think pushing, like, when he comes to the pizza parlor and attacks the family, that should have been enough for someone to stand up and do something.
Yeah.
I don't think you need, some floozy.
Yeah, he kind of misses his opportunity, but then I think, would he have even taken it?
Right.
That opportunity. His mother's clearly the baddest motherfucker in the family.
Yeah, she is.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't own that.
And the dad's just like breaking shit. Forever.
Right? I don't own that.
Although I think he's very smart. This is pre-internet where he has these like music video devices that he's just dropping around town, playing that fucking awful song in every pizza parlor in Harlem or the greater New York area. Who knows?
The 5 boroughs.
The 5 boroughs.
He's got the 5 boroughs covered with Faith Prince.
I would. What would you do?
Yeah, I would. It sounds like a joke, but it isn't. I mean, the first half of the movie, I would change. I would, again, also probably get rid of the subplot, the whole Arcadian thing. If you had to have it, I'd have, a better character, a better wicked henchman,
Yeah.
This whole thing felt like Shredder and Krang. To me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why does Shredder?
Well, it's a very
Shredder
it's
doesn't
a
really
formula.
need Krang.
It's a formula.
Yeah,
you've got the
Sith Lord and the Master,
Exactly.
or whatever the fuck.
Like a general to the
whatever.
man that's in charge.
But if he's going to be a general, you've got to have a better general. That's just my opinion.
Shonuff was a great general.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm sorry. I meant the other guy.
Oh, you meant Rock.
No. It seems like you said Shonuff is the kind of the brute, and
I hear that's where they got
Arcadian
the
is kind of like the head honcho making the moves.
Like I said, Master Blaster.
Yeah.
I'm the brains, he's the brawn.
That would be it. And yeah, that's probably what I would change.
I want to start this one with Brian. What's the scene that might make you stop and watch this film?
That might make me stop and watch it?
I read it wrong. I read it as what scene would make you stop watching
the film.
Oh, let's do that too.
All right. The film, the scene
I like
that would
that
make
even
me
better, actually.
stop and watch it is probably the final fight.
The final fight between him, between Shogun and
Yep.
I might too. What would make you stop watching this movie? At what point would you be like, nah, I can't watch this anymore?
Anytime Timok is on screen, wearing Asian-style clothes and that hat.
Oh, that hat.
Well, he's dressed like a coolie?
It just made me feel uncomfortable watching him walk around in those pajamas and
that straw hat.
And he's on the streets, and I'm like...
of Harlem.
You can't do that anymore.
No.
You get ridiculed.
I feel like in New York,
cultural appropriation.
Dude, I feel like in New York, you could fucking do just about anything.
He got away with it because
like,
he was black. I don't. If it was a white guy doing that, I think that it would be a different situation. I think he would have had his ass.
If it was a white guy in blackface dressed as a Chinese guy.
Yeah, right. Now we're talking.
Now you're in trouble, Derek.
If there's a white guy in Harlem at that time, it would be a little
working as an accountant.
I've seen
very streetwise.
What would make me stop and watch it?
Yeah.
Again, anything in the second half of the film. What would make me stop watching the movie?
Anything in the first half.
Kind of. Yeah. There's no way around it.
So if you caught this somewhere in the beginning, you'd be like, nah.
No,
if you catch it somewhere in the end, you're all over
I saw him
it.
walking around Times Square or whatever in that outfit, and no one's batting an eye, I'd be like, oh, it's one of these things. All right.
Oh, it's one of these.
Okay, I see.
Wait a minute. It's one of these.
It's one of these kind of movies. We're just going to accept it. It's like a Ninja Turtle going around with a trench coat and hat and nobody batting an eye in New York. Yeah. Fuck, I love that movie, but fuck no.
They give him a lot of shit for it, though, throughout the film. Like, everybody gives him shit. His brother, even the three Chinese guys are like,
I did not
why
dislike
the fuck are you dressed like
I love
this,
that they take off the hat and then like he makes fun of him. He's like with the Asian.
Oh yeah, you
like,
chop holy ass out of here. Yes. Hilarious. He's like, let me say it so we can understand it, Jim.
Anything with a little brother, I'd be like, nope.
Yeah. He can be a bit much.
Shut up, kid.
And his two friends there, the big fat blonde kid.
Hey, the fat kid who talk like this, like he was from Bridgewater. If you're Tito.
Hey, you see,
Mark.
Let's go over and see Mark there.
Hey, it's time, Mark.
Nice tie, Mark. Did your mom buy you that for Christmas there, Mark? It's a nice tie.
That kid was a walking wad of beef with legs. The tight clothing.
I think I've seen him in other stuff.
But he looked like what's that kid I can't fucking stand in everything? He's in the Santa Claus, Storm of the Century. What the hell is his name? Fucking Spencer.
Oh, Spencer Breslin.
Oh, I can't fucking stand him.
Oh.
He reminded me.
Oh,
of
Abigail's brother?
Yeah, another butterball with an awkward face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was sweet.
He was in, what was it, Zoom? That Tim
face?
Allen movie?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the kid.
Yeah. Oh God.
The kid.
Yeah, he was the kid with.
And he can't
Bruce Willis.
fucking act. Okay.
And he can't fucking act. So I.
Yes, Tito, he cannot.
I absolutely love this movie when I was a child.
Uh-huh.
This is, we did not buy the TV guide when I was a kid. We did not have the menu. What's playing next? My mom was not buying TV guides.
Okay.
We don't need that. Put the TV on.
Watching TV in Tito's house was like Russian roulette. It was like,
we just watched the TV. So I'm going to tell you what.
You watch the TV. You don't need the TV.
Where I would always stop and watch this movie.
The opposite, Grandpa.
Anytime a movie was starting and the TriStar logo came out with the Pegasus, I would stop and say, "Oh, maybe this is The Last Dragon." And I would wait to see if the Kung Fu montage started, and I was like, boom. Thank you.
Tito, that's
it's Sleepless in Seattle.
That's sad.
Oh, really? I was always very excited.
No, I mean, all right.
I'll tell you right now.
Pumped. I was like, oh, The Last Dragon.
See, I picture.
As soon as I started this movie and I saw the horse, I'm like, oh, this is a TriStar movie.
This is going to be a movie I want to.
That's the thing. I started this movie excited right off the bat.
Right there. Oh, it's going to be.
I very rarely, even if it wasn't The Last Dragon, after TriStar comes up, I'm like, I'm gonna like whatever this is.
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope it's The Last Dragon.
Derek's like, oh, it doesn't say Shaw Brothers. I'm all in.
But But yeah, we were not a TV guy.
All right, so you painted a more positive scene. I pictured you on the little edge of the couch.
No.
Please.
Oh no! Right. I was excited no matter what came on. But
he throws the crucifix in the fireplace.
I was about to get mad at your mom.
Like Salieri and Amadeus.
Movies, even like Big Trouble in Little China was always on TV. One of those movies. I'm like,
you give all this talent
waiting
to
see if
clown,
that opening credit comes out. And then,
dude, that TV guide, man, I needed to know when them Nightmare on Elm Street movies were on. And,
oh no, we did not.
Yeah,
we were not TV guide.
3 o'clock in the morning. Critters. Okay, I'll stay up for that.
Interesting.
Yeah. I used to read the articles.
I just stayed up and whatever came on.
I never really watched.
That's adventurous.
I think that's why I've seen so much shit. Because I was just playing TV. I played TV roulette for like the majority of my childhood.
I'm gonna start doing.
I was like, all right, I'm 10 minutes in. I might as well go 20 minutes. I'm a half hour in. I guess I'm gonna continue.
You can
look at how I left.
And here we are, The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Yep, here we are.
Everything happens for a reason. Everything happens.
All right, we kind of touched on this a bit, but things that might not work today.
Appropriation.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say the same thing.
Yeah. You know what didn't come up, and I've
the 80s.
I assume is a trans woman in the movie theater.
Yeah.
Don't hurt that face, baby.
Kick his ass.
Yeah.
Kick his ass.
Don't hurt that face, baby.
Yeah.
I see it now. I'm just like,
randomly.
Is that good or is that bad?
I
don't know.
Good. I think that's ahead of its time.
That's all right, right?
It's inclusive.
I don't even know. I watched it and I'm just like,
it's not exploiting.
No,
it's
not
not showing. Nobody's picking on him, her in the movie theater.
Yeah. They don't make a big issue out of it.
It's just
she's just there.
She's just there, baby.
This is the most eclectic group of people at a movie theater.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh,
there
are totally some like preppy girls to the right.
Yes.
Like the ones that get kicked out of their spots.
Yeah.
They're all like, they look like they should be at the mall.
Just regular people. There's a Jamaican dude smoking the biggest
oh my god
I've ever seen in my life.
Outside of a Cheech and Chong movie.
Novelty prop right there.
Yeah, it's the biggest fucking split I've ever seen.
No, it's true. That wasn't a very eclectic group. It reminded me of like, remember the movie theater scene in Fame when they all go see Rocky Horror? It kind of reminded me of that. It's like they're just all like weird people just enjoying this movie for what it is.
And that's
which is awesome.
Yeah,
it's an awesome
way.
You know, like, that's a good message. Like that these films kind of gravitate towards all kinds of different people,
right?
And that they all have a common bond.
Yeah, everybody wants to see fucking Enter the Dragon, and it's like filmed at a theater on like 42nd Street, which was like
a porn theater,
notorious for
I read that
porn
too.
or like theaters that just showed fucking kung fu
movies.
or grindhouse films, right? So it's a bunch of people that came to see a movie, have a good time, and really they're all being loud. But when the radio gets turned on, they're like, "Come on, man! We're playing music. We're trying to fucking yell at the screen." That's
true,
fuck, man.
It's a line, and you crossed it.
I love it when the dude stomps the radio.
Everybody's so proud. The appropriation stuff, I think, is very interesting because it seems, I think, is kind of done in good spirit and not necessarily
it was
a negative
different time too.
Yeah, but it kind of is going both ways because you have the 3 Chinese guys who are
like
kind
street.
of appropriating like Harlem culture, black culture, and are kind of thrown off by the guy who's dressed like a coolie. And he's like, I'm looking for the master. And I'm like, what? Ain't got no masters here. Ain't got no slaves neither. And you're just like, what the? So funny. And even like his master, I think, is hilarious. The guy that plays, because he is like, dude, what are you? Stop going to see these kung fu movies.
Yeah.
I don't want you to bow in front of me.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to visit my mother in Miami. I'm not going on some kind of journey for knowledge.
I liked that part.
Chill the fuck out.
I did like that part with the bowing. Yeah.
A master would use this to hold up your belt.
Yeah, I love that.
Exactly.
You just opened the fortune cookie with no fortune, you idiot.
Medallion,
The medallion, yeah.
It's nothing. It's still what another man would use to hold up his pants.
It's
just a belt buckle.
2 scenes. He's in 2 scenes, and I think he's fantastic.
He was
in both
good.
scenes because he really is. He's playing up that like, I'm teaching you this art, this martial art, but like, we're not in a movie, dude. You're living in a fantasy world. His whole life is a fantasy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right, and he loves this culture, but he's almost like loves it too much. And it's bordering on like ridiculous.
He's a kick-ass Bastion from Neverending Story.
Yeah.
He wants to be in that Bruce Lee movie very bad.
So bad.
Just doesn't eat any creepy apple, or doesn't eat an apple creepily in any way.
That's true.
But he's locked in his fantasy world.
I wouldn't say he has no creep factor.
He just eats his popcorn with chopsticks.
That's right.
If you could replace an actor, who might you replace, if anybody?
Well, I would if Eddie had to stay in the movie, I would replace him.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't know who I would replace him with, but anybody's better than that guy.
Joe Pesci.
Who did we say
Joe
earlier?
Pesci would actually be good.
Dude, I love the whole little man running the show.
Well, there you go. Joe Pesci would be perfect.
In any storyline, but you've got to have a little man that people are afraid of, like I said, for any kind of reason.
Yeah.
And Arcadian. Thank God he was born Arcadian and he owns arcades. Can you imagine if he was, Eddie Kawashian?
That might have been even better.
Kind of. It would have been better. It would have been funnier.
Car wash king of New York.
I'm going to have the best car wash in the world. What do you think, guy from Goodfellas? I'm over here with these piranhas. You thought we were foreshadowing something great with these piranhas, huh? No, fuck you. Oh, we got nothing.
Eddie Laundromatian. I'm trying to push my laundry on Vanity here.
Here's some quarters, ladies. Go have fun.
Gonna dry your ass out
forever.
This movie needed Art Evans, man.
I absolutely love everybody in this movie, but the only person I could think who was kind of a Motown connection would be like Janet Jackson in the role of Vanity.
Yeah.
Where maybe more of a wholesome thing, where then you don't need Eddie Arcadian.
No.
Because she's just more of a neighborhood girl and maybe they're in love and it's not as like magical. Because you don't really need the shit with like Richie also being in love, the love triangle that doesn't really exist.
No.
Not
is
needed.
unnecessary.
Only in his head.
Yeah.
That's a lot of padding.
I mean, it makes for a good like popping and locking out of the rope scene, but like you don't need that like fake love triangle. But I do. I think I like Eddie Arcadian. I like the actor that plays him at least, and Julius Carey. I forget everything when he's on screen, so I think he's just killing it.
Was that his real hair? They give him a
Julius
wig.
Carey's hair? Yeah, I believe so.
That was his real hair.
Yeah.
That was
It
awesome.
did remind me of Gene.
Because I think he went to
It
like
did with a top knot.
he's at like the
done
premieres
deliberately?
with that hair.
'Cause
Oh, I don't know if it's I don't know.
It was like a spot-on replica, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's wearing like the shoulder pads and the fucking silk.
I'm not wearing
red.
hockey pads.
It was silk red
And
fucking
he was
tiger
so
gi.
fucking like big in that movie. He like moved around like Tokar Razor from Ninja Turtles 2.
He's enormous.
He almost looked like a puppet in some weird way.
Yeah.
But he was fun to watch. Like
He really was.
Yep.
If you, I did that already. All right, we're going. I'm going to give you some nominees. The award for What Are You Doing in This Movie? Our nominees are Chaz Palminteri as the limo driver, which you missed.
Yeah.
William
I did
H.
too.
Macy as the guy wearing the crazy jacket who was afraid for
found
his
him.
life.
Yeah.
Keisha Knight Pulliam, who was the little daughter.
With 3 names.
With 3 names,
Yeah.
Lotus
called it
Blossom,
Lotus Blossom,
Sophia, and
Natasha or something.
Natasha. Pretty chopsticks, Natasha.
Yeah, well, that girl's going to be all screwed up. Everybody calling her something different.
She's credited as Sophia.
Yeah.
I guess, so the dad is right this time. This time the dad is right for once. I'm going to go William. I gotta go
William H. Macy.
I threw Ernie Reyes Jr. in there, but like, he didn't.
No,
he wasn't like a huge star. But like,
I have a feeling
William
Keisha
H.
Knight
Macy.
Pulliam didn't even know where she was.
Yeah, right.
You know,
She's like
just
4.
plop her in that high chair and just smile.
Just
you
get
know?
me out of that Huxtable house, please.
Yeah, this was before, wasn't it? Wasn't this before?
Probably. It had
That's
to be
a-
like
yeah, it's
right
before.
around that time.
She gets
though.
Cosby Show after this.
Yeah.
William H. Macy. You didn't mention him. I'm going to mention, again, Mike Starr. He may not be as famous as some of the others, but he's famous to me because I've watched a lot of movies with him in it. Not so much because of his acting status, but what was his point in this movie?
Yeah.
He does
he's just
nothing.
goon.
He doesn't even goon it up. He doesn't even get into a fight with anybody. He stands around feeding the piranha.
He introduces the piranha that they do nothing
That's
with later.
it.
Yeah.
And then he just kind of lumbers around in a few
He gets hit by a
scenes.
chair by one of his own guys.
Yeah. So
One of my other the scene where after they get their ass kicked and they go back and the guy's like, boss.
Oh, they're
boss."
making up the
There were
story.
like 30
I love
guys.
that. Yeah.
These huge black guys. And they look at the one black guy. He's like, yeah, with chains. He's like, all right, fuck it. Yeah, we're going for it, I guess.
That's right. Chains.
I laugh hysterically every time. Black guys, and they stop. And he's just like, yeah, with chains. Yeah, but we're going to give it to William H. Macy.
Yeah,
I'll give it to him. Sure. Yeah.
I can't. Mike's.
I will give it to William H. I'll go with the crowd on this one. So, If we're going at
it doesn't matter. Yeah.
I'm outvoted. But if we're going by face value just alone, then William H. Macy.
You're more surprised to see William H. Macy, I think.
I was.
I didn't see that coming at all.
Yeah,
because I didn't see Chaz, and I could have cared less about Keisha Knight Pulliam.
Yeah,
you know. So
I didn't see Chaz either.
Yeah, she had like no lines except like
yeah.
Great and Usual Suspects.
Yeah.
I'm smarter than you, Virgil. I can outthink you. Sorry.
He's not that smart though in that movie. He's kind of an
Chaz
idiot.
Palminteri, yeah. Well, he thinks he's smarter than him, but
He thinks he's smarter than Verbal Kemp, but he is not.
Some guy's name's Redford. You mentioned a lawyer. Kobayashi. Sorry.
All right, let's
Can we do that movie sometime?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah,
Tino.
that's
the Barbershop Quartet.
Fucking,
Illinois.
yeah, the movie made by monsters. Let's do it.
That
I got
movie
plenty
made
to
by
say about
monsters.
it. I'm just kidding. I love that movie.
We do too. It is made by monsters, though.
It's made by monsters.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think I know where Brian's go. Does it make your rotation?
Probably not.
No?
Not for me.
All right, that's fair.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. What are we talking frequency?
At least once a year.
Once a year?
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably more.
I don't know. I have to. Oh, sorry. I thought you were good. I jumped it. I apologize.
No, go ahead.
Am I good now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mark.
Mark.
Well,
I'll give it another shot.
We're waiting.
I'll
You would give it another shot,
I don't
but-
know. It probably wouldn't go in a regular rotation. Would I watch it again? Yes.
You would watch it again.
Yeah,
okay,
I'll
that's
give you
fine.
that. I'll
That's
give
a
you that.
tricky one because I'm
Would you
not.
put it in your riffing rotation?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah,
in my
well,
riffing, I would
yes.
love to riff this movie.
I want to make an addendum. I would put it in my riffing
absolutely.
rotation.
Okay.
too.
Okay, if you want to, yeah.
So if
If
you're
you
gonna
wanna
watch
do
it to riff, would you do it like recommend it to somebody to watch and
Oh
riff?
yeah,
Yes.
because I'd be like, no, this movie's terrible. Watch it if you want to riff on something.
I wouldn't say it's terrible. I would say you might like it because depending
didn't, but you might.
if
And
I know the
say-
person,
and I'd say you
I know
will
if
like
they
this movie.
Yeah,
If you know what's good for you.
yeah.
You
You
will
might
like it.
you could like this. Maybe you won't. I don't know.
All right, that's fair.
All right.
That's it. I watch it like once a month. So,
That's all right, Tito.
who wins the movie? Who's the MVP of this film?
The soundtrack.
Oh, I like
Fucking
that
soundtrack, man.
soundtrack.
And you know
all
what?
right.
I gotta say, fuck the golden raspberries.
Yeah,
okay,
fuck
because
the
two
golden
of the
raspberries.
songs
Oh,
from
yeah,
this
yeah.
movie were nominated that year.
Yeah.
No,
Well, I think
thought
one
they were.
might even
I
be
thought
one.
they were a rock group. I forgot.
No,
I know
the
who they-
raspberry.
I know.
that-
Yeah,
there
I
was
know
a group called the
Raspberry
Raspberries.
Awards. Yeah.
The
I
Razzies.
just think they're fucking stupid. Like, fuck them.
Yeah,
'Cause
fuck 'em.
This album was great.
Yeah.
This is a great soundtrack. And
Well,
like I
let's,
said,
let's not go that far.
I don't care. I'll say it. I'll
I
say it again.
absolutely. I mean, I love
You
this.
got-
I
yeah,
love the soundtrack.
I'm not gonna go as far as
So, like
great.
Willie Hutch, who was a huge Motown writer
Mm-hmm.
outside of Smokey Robinson, who wrote fucking smash hits for so many artists. Wrote a bunch. He wrote the
Yeah.
Glow song. He wrote the fucking intro, and I think Stevie Wonder has a song on the soundtrack too.
Yes, he does. Yeah, what is
That's where, unfortunately, I feel like
uncomfortable something.
Part-time lover.
I love that song.
I love that song
That's
too.
a great fucking song.
In my head, that's what was
Yeah,
playing.
it's a great song. But yeah, it's almost like it's
Upset stomach.
upset stomach.
It's just the name of the song.
It's bordering on just like you're just a little out of touch. But there's some fun songs, and I think
Yeah.
the songs go really well with the scenes.
Yeah.
The music videos, again, they stop the film, but
They
I
do.
think the songs
Even
that
then, they're good-
are
they're
meant
good.
for the scenes
Yeah, they're good
go very
songs.
well,
I
and
like
they're fun songs.
Yeah.
That's good. I like that. MVP. Who wins?
I'm going Johnny U. All the way.
You.
Best part of that, in my opinion, best part of that movie.
Johnny's great.
Loved him.
He didn't win in the end, but show enough for me.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Well,
Teen,
like
that's
Tito
Teen
said-
Wolf.
One.
Huh?
That's Teen Wolf.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going with Brian. Show enough.
Yeah.
when is-
Tito's right. He stole every scene he was in. And
he is the MVP.
he was the most fun to watch.
My God, he's just. I think he's just
Yeah,
crushing.
more
every
more
scene he's
entertaining
in.
than our hero.
He was an animal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Our
yeah.
hero.
Yeah.
Which I like because, and I think again, I love films like, I love these older kung fu movies. Steven Seagal is not that interesting of a
He's
guy.
not.
Same.
He's boring.
Yeah.
Jean-Claude Van Damme he yells really loud, but again, not the best actor. But when you get a lot of these guys who are physically talented and good looking enough and interesting enough to look at while they're doing kung fu, if you get a really good bad guy like Shonuff, then it just like balances everything. Then you're okay with Chuck Norris being a fucking robot on screen.
Sure.
They're very
For the record, Van Damme has charisma.
he
Let's
does.
be
He
honest.
does. He has
You
some
know.
charisma. Yeah, he
Right.
does. And I think he got better.
Yeah.
Same with like Arnold and Stallone. Like they got better as actors, but when you gave them really good villains, it just made those movies so much better.
Van
Like,
Damme, yeah,
Your
I like
film
Van Damme
usually
as a
is
villain.
only as good as your villain.
Yeah.
Van Damme made a great villain in Expendables too.
he
I
is
thought
a very good
awesome.
villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny because he's a little more outgoing, I think, with his character. So a lot of his villains in Van Damme movies, at least the older ones, tend to be more subdued. Like Bolo Yang and Bloodsport, I think has 4 lines the entire film.
Yeah.
No kidding.
He says 4 things, and I think he's dubbed. Those
Yeah.
4 lines are
Probably.
dubbed by somebody else.
I remember you showing me that movie. It's a
Yeah,
great
it's
movie.
awesome. I wanted to, but I was like, Mark's seen it, but maybe we should.
No,
and
no,
we
dude.
had a kung fu movie that I was like, I got to ruin Brian's life with this.
Listen,
I like kung fu movies if they're good.
We're all gonna get picks eventually, Tito, and we'll bring it back
Hell,
around.
for sure.
I like Kung Pao Enter the Fist even.
Oh my god, I hate that movie.
I think that's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god, I hate that movie.
Here we go.
It's fucking hilarious.
Revenge.
See?
All
Next
right.
time.
I mean, I'll watch
Brian's
it. I'll watch it. That movie's super short.
Yeah.
It totally is.
It's like 17 minutes. But yeah, for the star for me is of everything is Shonuff, and I had another idea after the fact. I was actually coming here as like someone who hurt the film, and I
mean,
want to
you've heard
mention
mine.
Barry Gordy. I think
Yeah.
it's
Maybe.
probably the reason that this movie isn't as good as it should be.
It's
and
usually
the
the
reason that it
producer
didn't
behind the
carry
scenes
on
that
into
fucks
bigger
everything up.
things.
And I guess he was on set a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He would
Yeah.
constantly show up with like an entourage.
And with
Motown
music people. Yeah.
Yeah.
An entourage. That's what Arcadian needed. He needed a cool entourage.
I mean, he had an entourage. They weren't that cool.
No, he needed a good entourage.
They
He
were all
had
like
one
security
guy
guards at the arcade. All those dudes, like one guy's a security guard, one's a limo driver. 2 of them are maintenance men, I think. They're wearing jumpsuits.
David Lopan was in a
One guy's one of the-
wheelchair for
the
half of
arcade
that
sales
movie,
reps that comes
but he
in
had an
once in a
awesome entourage.
Great on.
So
You could
that's
never.
That's why people feared him.
He had levels to it too. He had the
did.
Lords of Death. He had the 3 Storms.
Yep.
He had
He could turn into
actual police working in his warehouse.
That's right, he did. Yeah.
Or guys with machine guns. At least.
Yeah, he had a monster. He had killer
monster,
bugs.
eyeball
he had a floating
monsters.
eyeball. Yeah, he branched out.
No one's gonna deny Lopan is a better
No,
villain than Eddie Arcadian.
I would hope not, because
All
you
right.
could just leave this podcast right now.
So there was gonna be a sequel and it never happened. But if you were gonna make a sequel, how would it go? Who wants to
Did you
go
guys
first?
do it? Did you do the assigned homework?
I
didn't.
did it, but
guys.
I just had a notion.
That's
I
all right.
didn't- why
I'll-
don't you,
all right,
That's
no,
fine.
you
That's
went
fine.
into
No,
it.
no. It doesn't have to be like.
I'm gonna blow you away. So you
Oh, you're very modest, I see.
I'm a little cocky, but I got great tits.
what's your
You're gonna
notion?
blow me away.
What's
My
your
notion is just I want a sequel with Johnny Yu and Ty, buddy cop, Tango and Cash. That shit. I want to see them go on adventures. I want to see all that kung fu, that teamwork kung fu they were doing for the last 10 minutes of this film. I want that in an entire movie. I want a Rush Hour-esque kind of movie with those two. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I want to see. I would like to see many Lethal Weapon length size movies with these two because they were so cool to watch.
Do you remember Sidekicks?
I never saw it.
Jonathan
I
Brandis?
know
Yes,
it, but I never
I
saw
remember
it.
No, it was
Sidekicks.
a
That
TV
little-
show with Ernie Reyes Jr.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Yes,
It's
I
him
do.
and like an
remember. That's where I've
older.
seen that
He's like
kid.
an older guy.
Holy
Yeah.
shit! That's
and they
right.
solve crimes or whatever together.
Yeah.
He does kung
That
fu, and the old
is-
guy is an old guy.
Yes.
Yeah, it was called
I
Sidekick.
Yeah.
totally forgot.
I remember that.
I do remember that.
I don't know
That's
if
what I want
if
in
he
this.
parlayed that.
That was from the
this.
90s, right?
Yeah,
Late 80s, early
late
90s.
80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Syndicated, I think, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Might have been syndicated.
Utah, The Adventures of Utah, Johnny Yu, and I don't
Yeah.
know.
No, I would
be
love it because
fucking
Yeah.
you got
awesome.
the ass kicker, and then you got the funny
Yeah.
guy who can kind of kick ass.
That would
Yeah.
be great.
You know, he reminds me a bit of Brandon Lee.
I know what you mean, especially in Rapid Fire when he's
Yeah, he's
or
like
Showdown in
funny.
Little
He's very
Tokyo.
charming, and
He's
but
cracking
a
the
good
jokes.
fighter. He's cracking the jokes.
But
he
less,
has that.
I can't think of the word. Fumbling when he's not fighting, he kind of fumbles
Yeah.
around a little bit.
Yeah. It's
But
very
Brandon Lee doesn't do
slapsticky.
that as much.
No,
Slapsticky,
yeah,
right.
for
But
sure.
I do see what you're saying.
But he has that, which was like whenever I watch it, I always think, oh, this kind of bums me out about Brandon Lee.
Yeah.
Because I think he,
Yeah.
Obviously he would have been the man. He was the man, but he would have been a
Rapid
bigger
Fire,
man.
baby.
Yep.
So my sequel, Shonuff goes to prison, obviously, because they were doing some shady shit. But he doesn't go to prison for too long. He gets out, and Leroy has opened a bunch of dojos based on the story of Bruce Leroy, who caught the bullet with his teeth, and he kicked Shogun's ass in Harlem. So his studio's kind of taken off.
This is Cobra Kai season 5.
It's ish. As I was continuing on, and I was like, damn, this sounds too familiar. But Shonuff gets out of prison, and he wants to fight him, so he fights him and he loses to Shonuff, and then the story gets out that Bruce Leroy, who was the baddest man in Harlem, lost a fight to Shonuff because he just doesn't have the heart anymore. So and his business starts to tank a bit, and he has to get back to basics to redeem himself.
And that's when he calls upon the forces of Johnny U.
Johnny U and his crew. Yeah.
Yep.
So just,
and the Ninja Turtles.
That's
no
right.
Eddie Arcadian. So no Eddie Arcadian because,
No, Eddie sucked.
He's got like attempted murder charges, kidnapping, like
we don't need any more Eddie Arcadian.
Extortion, racketeering, like all kinds of RICO charges, like all kinds of shit. So he's
Danny DeVito as Eddie Arcadian. I could totally
that'd be fun too.
All right.
You're what, 85? You're still in
like Danny DeVito
right off
from
of Taxi.
Right off of
Taxi.
But playing
that
it like
little
Taxi.
Run, oh God, that
like
would
he's
be
up in a
awesome.
high chair behind the fence the whole movie,
Absolutely.
just like yelling orders at people.
Right. I could buy that more. I could buy that.
If I had to
for
do a
$1.
sequel, I'd do it where they're in space.
I would see that movie.
Shown up,
and it would
is
make
glowing
$1 billion.
red, so he's like the Sith.
He's
glowing. He's got the red fist. He's like the Sith master.
I would not miss that. I would see that movie.
See that?
So would I.
Would make $1 billion.
Let's hear.
All right.
Let's hear this opus.
The listeners out there, if anybody has any connections,
who am I playing? Is this another one of our?
No.
Okay.
Oh, should
we don't have lines.
Absolutely.
Wait. Hold on. When's your birthday again?
It's in April.
All right, I know what we're doing in April.
4 months
All right,
from now.
man.
All right.
That's
so
our
this
April
is a
skip.
current day sequel, like now.
Okay.
Leroy's storied battle has become ancient history, a piece of forgotten local lore. His wife Laura has died. His son.
No,
that's a bummer.
From crack cocaine.
Well, because
kidney failure.
These actors are dead. I can't use them.
From years of crack cocaine.
True.
His son Jack Norris.
Oh boy,
because they like the Bruce Leroy, right? Has distanced himself from the family dojo and become an underground hip hop DJ. When a slumlord who is looking to evict the tenants of his projects in order to create a high-rise, high-class condo building joins forces with Sammy Ray, the samurai of Harlem, and cousin of the late Shonuff, targets the dojo. Jack joins forces with his father to protect the dojo and the neighborhood. Featuring acting performances and soundtrack appearances by the Wu-Tang Clan, A$AP Rocky,
and Jaden
Busta
Smith.
Rhymes, Nas, and more. And produced by Quentin Tarantino, it's The Last Dragon, Return of the Glow.
Oh, you had me in Tarantino. Yes. Absolutely.
I like the effort in that one.
I'll bet you he dug this movie.
Absolutely.
This is a movie.
That's possible.
This is right up his alley.
He knows all about this movie.
Yeah,
Again,
I'm sure he does.
It's
All those people you don't know in this movie, Quentin Tarantino knows and
It's
knows
true.
everything they've done.
Everything they've ever done.
It's
Yeah.
amazing.
He's
Absolutely.
like, oh yeah, Mike Stock. Terrible voice.
Sounds like Luke Skywalker.
That's what I hear.
That's your Tarantino
From
impression.
people whose voices I hate. That's what I hear. Sam Jackson.
No, okay.
Stop
okay,
looking at me
yeah.
when you say that. That's what I hear. Derek, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Magnum opus.
I tried.
Well done.
I want that movie. I want that sequel now.
I would watch
Give
that.
it to me.
I'd watch that. I'd watch it in space.
Yeah.
I'd watch him with the Ninja Turtles.
But I will not watch it, Sam.
I will not watch it in a boat. I will not watch it with a goat. I'll watch anything with a goat.
This is not too bad. One and a half dads. Not too bad.
I gotta say,
We got 1.5 dads
gave
on this one.
I gave you some. I razzed you in the intro because I have to, But it is not horrible. It is not great, but it is not horrible. But don't ever give me shit about Alligator 2 again, or Alligator.
Or Alligator. He hasn't seen
Okay.
either
You
of
give
them.
me shit about Rawhead, but you've lost the right to give me shit about Alligator.
So then maybe now I understand you a little bit better.
There you go. Had you seen
If you
Alligator,
feel about Alligator
as a
the way I feel
kid,
about The Last Dragon,
there
then
you go. Oh, look at
maybe I
history.
understand.
History is
Compromise.
We're building bridges here.
Yeah,
We're building bridges.
Then it makes a little more sense to me.
Movie nights are being planned.
That's right. We're still watching both of these again, and you're not getting out of it, Joe.
No, I can and I will.
As long as we can riff both.
Oh yeah, we can totally riff them.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
We riff anything
and make
anyway.
everybody stay quiet during The Last Dragon. No one speaks. No one speaks, or I just get up and walk right out
I'll
of the
riff
house.
any movie.
It's like, where did he go?
It doesn't matter.
I think we offended him.
Tito went out for a smoke and never came
And he
back.
never came back. Leave these motherfuckers
Forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is The Last Dragon.
Yay.
Well done. Well done.
Good job, Tito. Good job.
See it.
Nice.
See it with your friends.
See it with a loved
See it
one.
with Brian.
See it with a neighbor.
See it with Brian. See it with somebody.
Who appreciates
I got
it.
nothing.
Homer, if you're out there,
Homer, see
see
this
The
movie.
Last Dragon.
He will.
What's your dad's name?
Richard.
He likes movies.
He does.
Richard, see this movie.
Yep.
See it with Brian. Make him watch it with you.
Sarah, watch this movie.
She won't.
Yeah.
Sarah,
She
watch
won't.
this movie with Brian.
She won't.
Kathy, finish this movie. Kathy had 10 minutes to go. She abandoned it.
Kathy, watch the other 13 minutes of this movie.
Siobhan saw me watch it in bed, and she's like, "What the fuck is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a good movie."
No,
Did she watch it with you?
You're like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, of course.
I had my headphones in, and I was watching it on my iPad. And she like saw stuff, and she's like, "What the? What?
Why are they glowing?
Yeah. You're like, it's a black guy dressed like one of the people who built the railroads. What's the matter? What's the problem? Well, you acting like it's the first time you ever seen this on screen?
He's
First and last, actually.
He's every character in the first 5 minutes of Blazing Saddles all at once.
Bean farts and all, man. Bean farts and all. Hey, you know who did? Sarah did listen to the holiday special, though.
Oh, yeah.
Finally.
Oh, yeah?
Excellent.
Did she
loved
like it?
Yeah.
That was
Laughed
a lot
her
of fun.
ass off.
That was a lot
She
of fun.
wanted me to say on air, good job to all you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Sarah.
you, Sarah.
All
Glad to
right.
hear.
She's fine, by the way. Okay,
Yeah.
so with that.
Actually, we've been getting a lot of good feedback on that one.
yeah?
Yeah.
More to come.
Yep.
More to come. What's making the geek flags fly, gentlemen?
I got a couple of things.
That's
Go
very
for
important.
All right, so
Oh, before the geek flags? You want to?
what?
For geek flags or
No, he's got a
before?
couple.
I got a couple of
Thank
things
you,
for Geek Flag.
Oh, okay. I think
Yeah,
so.
yeah,
I got okay. Good.
Yeah, no, you asked a question, I answered.
You okay? All right.
That's how conversations work, Mark.
wasn't that hard, Mark.
No, it sounded like you said, "Oh, I got a couple of things."
I got a couple of
as
things.
in saying before the geek flag. segment.
So I meant
It
to
was in
mention
his
this
voice.
last week, but I finally got to see Black Adam on HBO. And yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was, I didn't hate it. It wasn't my favorite, but it was okay.
It was no Last Dragon.
It was no Last Dragon. I'll give you that.
Would you watch The Last Dragon before you watch Black Adam again?
I might.
All right.
Yeah, well, then
That's
you
a win.
like this movie. Yeah, well,
Then I win.
I still haven't seen it. And each thing I hear about it, I just
Yeah.
want to see it less.
So you
thought it
liked
was
it,
a-
though?
I
You-
liked it.
Shaded with the whole superhero
Yeah,
shit.
I'm not.
Yeah.
It's too much to get into now.
Yeah.
That's a whole other episode.
It totally is.
I also saw Glass Onion on Netflix.
That's on mine.
Yeah, I watched it
that's
2
on
days
mine,
ago.
yeah.
That's really good. I liked
Yeah.
it a lot. And I got to see, and I told you about this, the Adult Swim Yule log on HBO Max,
that's
which is
one of mine.
It's actually a horror movie.
called The Fireplace.
Rice. Right.
Fucking
Right.
phenomenal.
Oops. Sorry.
It's what'd you do?
I said rice instead of right.
There he goes.
Only a matter of
Donna
time.
Chang? It's Donna Chang.
You're not Chinese.
You're not Chinese.
We're
you say
gonna
that?
start
Did you
calling
say
you Estelle
ridiculous?
Raynard over here.
Did you say ridiculous? What's the Cartoon Network thing?
It's
Or Adult Swim?
Adult Swim. It's it starts off like it's a Yule log video. It's a close up
You've
of
seen
a
those, right?
fireplace.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
meant for ambiance.
Yeah,
Kind of like
yeah. It's like one of those, and it says it's an hour and a half long. But then you hear sounds like cars are pulling up outside the house and stuff, and you hear people talking in the background. It's like, what the hell's going on? Then you see this woman vacuuming in front of the fireplace, and I'm like, all right, it's all going to happen like this, all the action is going to happen like it's happening in front of the fire, but it doesn't. Like the first maybe 10 or 15 minutes is kind of like that.
Yeah.
But then
to lure you in with a cell.
but then the camera pans out and you see the whole room, and then more people come in, and after all this stuff happens, and it's in a nutshell, one of the logs that's burning in the fireplace is from a cursed tree. and everything fucking happens in this movie. It's just nuts, and I loved it.
Is it
I'm like,
animated?
No,
Oh,
not
it's a
at all.
live
It's a
action?
live action
Oh,
movie.
okay,
It's a
cool.
movie. Yeah, but they call it the Adult Swim Yule log.
Oh, nice.
So if you're on HBO Max, that's what it is filed under. And in parentheses, it says The Fireplace.
Oh, cool.
And it's an actual horror movie.
Oh, that's awesome.
And it's great. It's great. I loved it. I would watch it again with you guys. We should watch it tonight. Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah. All right, then. And that's my 3.
Cool. Derek.
Glass Onion as well. Sequel to Knives Out. I've been looking forward to that movie for a while, and it did not disappoint. It was better than the first. It was a better murder mystery in general than the first. The cast is amazing. There's cameos left and right.
Yeah.
Definitely looking forward to the next installment. I know we've mentioned it before on the show, but Willow. It's like 6 episodes in now.
I think I'm
something like that, 5 or 6.
Yeah, and actually,
6 would have come out today. Right?
Yeah, I didn't watch. I haven't seen 6 yet.
Yeah.
But I really, really like it. I love the modern music that they use.
I do too. At the end,
I didn't like it at first. I mean, it was a good song. That first one that they played was in the end credits was "Guess Who's Back" by.
What was the Metallica song they did?
Enter Sandman.
Enter Sandman. I was like, oh, this is fun.
And they did a really good cover of Crimson Clover in the last episode. It's fun.
This is just over like the closing credits, Mark. It's not during the. My only complaint is that Willow seems to take a backseat in his own show.
A little bit, but I think rightly so, because it's more about the group together and what they bring.
Is that the one where he's like the same like last time with my friends?
Yes.
Yeah, I absolutely love that episode.
Yeah. And
that has a lot of like flashbacks to the
and
original,
it's just I mean I really like it. They're doing a good job with it, and I think that, and I especially like if they end up doing a second season, I think we could still see Val Kilmer at some point.
I mean, if they can do Luke Skywalker, they can do Val Kilmer.
Exactly.
Yeah. They can do Mardigan.
And also, I got the PS5 recently.
Oh,
and,
you did.
I downloaded Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah, how's that?
Which is great.
Is it?
It's a great game.
It's the redhead kid from
Cameron Monaghan. From Gotham, the Joker from Gotham.
Oh, yeah.
What was the game before that?
Cal
that he's
Kestis. No, it's this one. Fallen Order is the first one, and then the new one is Survivor. It hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Ronan plays that.
Fallen. Deborah Wilson from Mad TV's in it is Siri Junda. Daniel Grandpa Munster Roebuck is the alien that's with them that flies the ship. But it's got a really great story, and it's got me rewatching a lot of. I finally started watching that Visions that you had told me about a long time ago.
The anime. It came out about a year ago.
And I'm going to watch Tales of the Jedi next. Yeah, that one's relatively new.
Yeah, it is, and those are good because those are really short.
Yeah,
and there's not that many of them
go
either.
into Visions, or is there some connection to
No.
Visions? Is separate. It's kind of like Animatrix.
It is.
Yeah.
Where it's like done by different anime houses.
Styles.
Yeah, so different anime studios would take like a short, original Star Wars story and animate it in their style.
Cool. Yeah, this doesn't like connect to any of them really. It deals a lot with like the Second Sisters and the Inquisitors and all that stuff.
Okay.
Because it's post Sith. It's like 5 or 6 years later, and they're hunting down like the remaining Jedis.
Gotcha.
But I think just playing the game in general kind of got me back in the Star Wars spirit, and I just like the richness that they that there's some good stuff out there that they have put out. And, makes me crave it. So yeah.
All right.
Nice.
Macarena?
Cool. I saw Violent Night finally and absolutely loved it. David Harbour's awesome.
He is.
Everybody's awesome in that movie.
Without giving it away, what's your favorite death?
If I say the favorite death, it gives it away.
Oh.
In other words, it gives away the awesome
ending.
end of the movie.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to go there.
Okay.
But
Thanks, Mark.
sorry, I'm trying to be nice. Trying to be nice.
I mean, it wouldn't be the end of the world.
Full light.
Yeah.
No, well,
I'll be all right. But
Yeah, we could also watch that
appreciate
tonight
that.
too if you'd rather.
what was the other thing? I saw the U-Log horror movie as
Oh,
well.
you did watch it?
I did watch it.
Oh, okay.
I thought it was good, and then it gets a little too strange even for me.
Really?
Toward the end.
I like that it got
I kind of liked
strange.
it better when it was still...
Like
on
just in
the
front
log, and then it pulls back, and then everything's kind of happening, but the camera's staying where it is.
Yeah.
You see the without.
So once the camera started traveling through the house, you
that's
didn't
when
like that.
I was
Okay.
like, see, it would have been cooler if it was just this whole thing was happening. Like it was almost like a home invasion kind of movie.
Yeah.
You could see the killers in the silhouette of like the.
That was great.
The vase,
Yes.
the vase.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
Yep.
Once it gets to once it gets to the killer log thing, it's funny, but I was like, it would have been cooler. Would have been awesome if you just kept it that way. But
Yep.
still worth seeing.
And then other stuff happens that makes it even weirder.
It is gory and
Yeah.
it is entertaining. So
Yeah.
I would watch it again. And
See,
I
I
would
thought it was
recommend
original, and that's what
Yeah,
I liked.
I know,
It,
it's definitely its own
just
thing.
kept surprising
Sure,
me. Like you,
absolutely.
I thought it was going to be like that. Like it's like I'm watching a play.
Yeah.
This is like a one-room thing, and we've got like a strategically placed like silver vase,
Right.
And you can see like the killer peeking out, like it's reflecting like on a doorway.
Yeah, while the two characters are talking in front of the fire.
You can
and
see the killer,
really cool.
like his reflection in this vase,
and you can't hear who's coming into, like you hear the cars pulling up. That to me is more fun.
I agree.
And I would love to have seen them do the whole thing like that. You could.
Are there a lot of actors that like you would know?
No,
or
nobody in it. No,
none.
No,
okay,
It's all
cool.
unknown, and that's what made it
But the
cooler.
original actor that showed up when he's fidgeting with the camera that he had set up.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, is that Chris Pratt?
Yeah.
And then later on
He
in the
makes a
thing,
comment
he makes
how
a
he
comment
looks
like,
like Chris
if they ever
Pratt.
make a movie out of this bullshit, I want Chris Pratt to play me. And I'm like,
cool.
that's what I said.
Yep.
Nice.
And my last thing, which was actually a Christmas gift to me from my wonderful wife, was the latest Alex Ross book called Unseen, which is artwork on all his unseen projects that never found their way into fruition. And the thing that is most fantastic out of all of them is the Star Wars DC crossover that they were going to do.
Really?
It was a legit thing they were going to do. And the pictures, the sketches, the paintings that he did for it are fantastic. You've probably seen a couple of them online.
Maybe.
Batman fighting Boba Fett. There's a whole
I have seen that one.
Star
Yeah.
Wars poster with Darth Vader and Darkseid, and you got Green Lantern flying over C-3PO and R2. It's so fucking cool.
I got to see this book.
I will bring it next
Yeah,
time.
serious.
It is.
I'd like to see it
you'll
too.
love that. He
Yeah.
does. He's got work. He has the paintings of the Beatles in there and David Bowie. Some
nice.
projects he
Oh,
wanted to
yeah.
do for Queen. There was a whole thing about the Fantastic Four, and I thought this is interesting because this made me want to read Fantastic Four. His vision of what he wanted to do with these characters probably would have converted me into a fan because I liked what he wanted to do with it, where he wanted to set the story. Of course, they've never done, in my opinion, a good Fantastic Four film. I've never been a fan of them, but the stuff that he had in this book would probably interest me.
Nice.
Had it been completed. So that's the only downside. Reading this book, you're like, oh.
Awesome stuff.
Awesome
When you see it in
crossover work
person.
with Christopher Reeve and Michael Keaton as Batman and Superman.
Nice.
He puts together a Justice League of, what the hell is his name from the Flash? I'm blanking on the name. What's his name?
From the TV show?
John Wesley Shipp,
John Wesley
Flash,
Shipp,
Linda Carter, Wonder Woman,
Oh,
Batman
I've seen that
and
one too.
Robin,
Yeah.
and, Christopher. It's
Yeah.
great. It's
Yeah.
it's so cool. Yeah, I recommend it. Pick it up, buy it if you're
Nice.
if you're
Yeah,
a
he's
fan.
great. One of my favorites is always the Hanna-Barbera where he did
Oh, I
the,
love that one.
the painting with all the from
Yeah,
like the
they're all
Lloyds
charging
and,
from one side. Love
Apache's
that
just like
painting.
enormous running. Yeah, I absolutely love it.
Oh man, one of my favorites. One of my favorite artists.
Yeah, no, Alex Ross is awesome.
I only got one. It's Fantasy Football Championships, baby. It's me versus 420 Club. Starts Thursday night. My number one guy is hurt. He might not play.
Oh,
Sorry,
I'm
man.
nervous.
Who's that?
Derrick Henry,
Oh,
late injury.
Oh, that guy.
He's been carrying me through the season. He got me to the championships.
now who's carrying him?
Fuck, I don't know. I wish I could across the goal line for a touchdown. But I'm like, that's all I've been focused on is fantasy football because I want that
it's-
chip.
it's
Two out of
winding
two out of 3 seasons. I'm going for my second championship in 3 years.
Look at you.
It's a big one. It's the D&D of the sports world.
Understood.
And,
Good luck to you, man.
It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've been talking a lot of shit, so now I got to win this bad boy.
You do.
You better.
You guys will
Yep.
find out next week.
You'll do it. You'll do it.
Well, if you're here,
If I don't bring it up, then I lost. And
all right.
Please,
Okay.
no one bring
if
it
you
up.
show up
All
with a
right.
big smile on your
Say
face-
nothing.
Yeah.
If I
Okay.
say nothing, you say nothing,
Okay.
and then I'll let you guys know.
All right. Sounds good.
You just got to look to within.
That's
Right,
right.
and you
The
gotta find that
master
glove.
Yeah.
was
It's the
here
glove,
all
yeah.
That
along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you reach
You got
that
it.
upper level, your mind and your soul must be one.
Keep
I know
up.
all the words to all the
I
fucking
know you do.
songs.
I know you do. And I can't make fun of you because I know things that are even more pathetic.
That's all I got. I literally stare at my phone all day fucking long looking at fantasy sports.
All
news
right.
For the last week.
Well, better than a plate of toast.
Or a wall.
I mix some Christmas in there.
Wall?
I mix a little Christmas in there. Fun fact about Christmas. This made my geek flag fly real quick. I'm walking out of my house. We're going to my in-laws, and I'm walking to my wife's car, and I could already feel that, like, this isn't going to be a good day. I stop. I take the keys. I walk back inside. I grab a gummy. I pop it in my mouth. I get in the car. We drive to our in-laws, and I had the best fucking Christmas Eve I have ever had. No one could tell. except for my wife. And maybe some
You're
of them
being
could
so
tell,
pleasant. What did you take?
because I would not take my coat off. I literally wore my coat for like 3 hours. And people were like, take your coat off. And I'm like, my coat's still on? Best Christmas Eve ever.
Bring some for the whole class
He's
next
going
time.
up a
I
second.
can and I
He's got
will.
the big
Thank
part.
you.
I can and I will.
Especially for the viewing
Stuff in his
parties
pockets
we
full of
have.
rolls.
Absolutely.
All right,
Absolutely.
cool.
Best Christmas Eve ever. I told my wife later. I was like, I was not ready for
Tito,
this day.
better living through chemistry.
I was not ready for this day.
Well, kiddos, let me tell you, if you want to hear more shows about getting high in football, none of them, I think, are on this podcast.
No.
But I'm sure we've talked about some other stuff that we've mentioned before on other podcasts. And you probably said, I wonder if they've talked about this on other podcasts. And guess what? We probably have. And how, you ask, how can I go back and listen to those 100+ episodes? Well, sir, Brian, how can they?
It's over 170 episodes.
Whatever, Russ.
Oh,
whatever.
boy.
Whatever. Yeah.
And if you want to check out any of those past episodes, you can head on over to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com. As Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there. You will also be able to find one-click buttons where you can subscribe to us if you're not already a subscriber. There are buttons there for about 20 different podcast platforms. You could choose the one that you most like, and that way you'll be sure to never miss an exciting episode. Our email link is there. Our Ko-fi page is there, so if you want to make a donation, we would greatly appreciate it. It helps keep the show chugging along. And all of our social media links are there as well. We're on Facebook, Instagram. We're also on YouTube and Twitter. And all of our links are there as well, along with places where you can rate and review the show, because if you want to give a 5-star rating and a little review, it helps to drive us up the charts and makes us easier for other listeners to find us. Don't know how that happens, but it's how it works.
Marco.
Polo. And I guess that's about it. So as always, thank you for listening. Mark?
Indeed. Thank you all for listening. And stay tuned next week. We're going to have another Tito pick. We got so much coming up in this new year. We got Fantasy February coming up, which I'm excited for. We're going to have more skits. We're going to have more verses. We're going to have more. We got a lot of
time
fun.
Flies when you're having fun.
It sure does.
Alex wants more Batman.
And sometimes when you're in this podcast.
And I will gladly deliver, Alex. Absolutely. And I'm glad that you enjoyed that episode.
Another shout out to Alex. I want to give another shout out too, very quickly, to Josh Dowling. He's been messaging me again.
Yes, we have to get him on the show.
Loves this show. He just has always something pleasant to say after each episode. We give shout outs to everybody. You all know who you are.
He does. And poor Josh he's part of the PVD horror podcast too, and we've been trying to coordinate a crossover between us and him. And
I owe him a piece of my mind.
Yeah.
So we got to get him on here.
Oh, that's
Save it
right.
for the show. Save it for the show.
Side versus Sharkula. That's right.
So we definitely want to
with the holidays and everything.
We want to say thank you, man.
Yeah.
We want to say thank you for listening. Thank you all for listening. All you guys who chime in after every episode. Thank you. Means the world to us. So
and Josh will have you on soon.
Absolutely, we will. We've got the time, I think.
I don't know.
Well, maybe not.
You just mentioned Tito month and then Fantasy February. When is Josh coming on?
We'll give it. We fit things in here. Oh, that sounds dirty. All right, here we go. So until next time, when we try to fit more things in places, I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm cramming.
I'm Tito.
Thank you and good night.
Ooh. Caught you off guard.
Brought to you by Gummies.
First up, Tito. Am I spoiling this? I thought you would have already mentioned what he was talking about.
No, that's fine. Go.
Okay.
No,
well, if not, the title of the show on the
That's true. That's true. I just didn't know if you had wanted to introduce
I think our listeners know we make no sense.
All right.
After 5 years.
She got 12 months. Right? Is that what she got, Derek? 12 months?
That she did.
She got flogged for being a bad girl.
A whole year. All right, well, there we go.
was easy.
All right, joke's done.
We should do it like that every time.
I know, right?
Huh?
With the sleepy bag guy.
It sure is.
Sleepy bad guy?
Did you always have those 2 stickers on the laptop?
This is the possessed laptop.
The one that thinks for itself?
The one that doesn't write and took me about an hour to write this intro.
Is it going to take us over?
Why do you insist on using it?
Well, I thought it might have gotten better, Brian, magically.
Okay. Over
you know
time,
what?
you
like
let it
some
sit
of
a little
that,
while?
that Christmas magic.
Did you try turning it on?
That mountain
Sure
magic?
did. I did. That
It's got a little bit of that mountain magic in
It
it?
doesn't. It's got Shaitan in it.
It's got shame.
I didn't even bother to spell check it because it would have taken another hour. So
It's got the Craig Robinson virus.
Oh man, that's just mean. Poor Craig Robinson.
Poor Craig Robinson.
Poor.
He's not poor.
There was no room in the inn for Craig Robinson.
That day.
That day. Wouldn't have rhymed if I added that day, though.
You go ... That day.
That's like Santa Baby. Santa Baby bugs me.
Santa Baby.
Like the phrasers themselves, the verses don't rhyme.
Yeah.
It's the backup singers that rhyme it. Like and I've heard versions where they didn't have those backup things,
It's
and it's
sassy,
like, well,
though.
that's stupid because
Well,
now it doesn't rhyme.
Well, you're stupid.
The Madonna version doesn't have that.
Yeah, fuck Madonna.
No. I like Eartha
Oh,
Kitt.
she did do a version.
I like
Eartha Kitt's the best.
I wouldn't fuck Madonna with A-Rod's dick.
I mean, does he seriously have to fuck that woman, Tipper Gore? I wouldn't touch her with a stolen dick. George Carlin.
Tipper Gore.
Tipper.
Her name's Tipper.
Her name is Tipper. What a ridiculous
They
name
call
for
her
a
Tipper.
woman.
Tipper.
My
Faster than
name
lightning.
is Florida.
That's the name of a state.
My name is Florida.
How do you think she got the name Tipper?
This is fun.
We're podcasting.
Let's do this instead.
I want some dudes. I want some real dudes.
Tito needs some dudes,
doing
yeah.
some real shit.